That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Welcome back to the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This week is episode 56, Mr. McChampion. September. The name just makes me laugh right away. I can't even get through it. It's like
I didn't realize that's what you named the episode.
Yeah,
because it wasn't named when I was watching.
Yeah, throughout this entire week,
McChampion.
I didn't know what the episode was going to be called, and I just came up with it a few hours ago, and I couldn't even get through saying it without laughing. Mr. McChampion.
You think McDonald's has ever used that?
The McChampion? The McChampion burger?
Yeah. I think you're onto something.
That's a good idea.
You just submit that to them ASAP before one of our listeners takes it on you.
It's bigger than the Big Mac. It's the McChampion.
That's funny.
So this
just
is
your own video, your own YouTube video. A million hits with that.
So anyway, we are covering September of 1999 and also some of August of 1999 because we are a little bit behind in our Attitude Era update. So we'll be getting into that. But before we get into all that, let's go into our introductions here. I'm Mike Prue, along with JV as always. JV, what's going on?
Well, we got our, seems like so far, we've got our technical difficulties put behind us.
Yeah, we had the issues last week.
Hopefully it's smooth sailing.
Yeah, so that's why we're going to have probably a jumbo episode. We've had them in the past, but just writing this and going through it, taking all the notes, and usually we have like, I don't know, I'd say like 17 to 18 pages of notes and shit. And this week, just earlier today, it was up to 30, and I had to go through and just edit down because it was going to be huge if I was going to do it as I normally would. So hopefully we get it back down to a normal size episode and not go beyond what we usually do.
You know what, though? Our other episodes, we can look at those as Big Macs. And now this episode is a McChampion episode, which is bigger than a Big Mac. So.
There you go. McChampion has 4 burgers, 3 burgers. I don't even know what a Big Mac has because I never had one.
You've never had one?
No.
I had one for the first time last year or the year before.
I intended to have one, but I never tried it.
It's good, but it's, I don't know. I don't think I ever got it again.
Yeah, it's one of those things you like.
I get the quarter pounder.
Quarter pounder?
Yeah.
I get
a chicken sandwich.
I get the plain cheeseburger. It's fucking lame.
That's it?
Yeah. Plain cheeseburger. Damn. Yeah, sometimes.
That's the Marty. That's the Marty Almeida.
Our buddy Marty Almeida.
Yeah.
Well, I do the same thing at Burger King too. If I were to get Burger King, I get 2 cheeseburger meal plain with chicken nuggets, and I stick the chicken nuggets inside the burger and dip it in sweet and sour sauce.
That's you know who does that too? The plain is Rob.
Oh yeah.
Bergeron. Yeah. That's funny.
I think maybe I passed on some of that to our friends. The
plain
burgers with the nuggets. Yeah, so that's some fucking shitty kind of eating, but anyway. So anyway, here we are. Like I said, we got a McChampion-sized episode here. There's JV. Call you fucking Jay-Z. JV said this is a McChampion episode compared to the Big Mac. And we got a lot in store, but before we get to all that, I just want to go through a few things here that we have available to you. We also have a YouTube channel at Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. So go to YouTube, search Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. We have all our episodes available on there. So please subscribe and join that YouTube channel if you ever feel so inclined to listen to us on that platform. That would be great.
What's our subscriber count so far?
8.
8? Damn.
Yeah, it's not growing at all.
Oh, I thought I was going to say that's good. That means there's 6 more people than you and I.
Yes, exactly. But I also think Travis and Alex from Talking Taker are 2 of the other guys. So that means there's probably 4.
I knew I liked those guys.
4 other people.
Yeah.
That are not associated with us.
Awesome.
So be the 9th. I've said that before. And it's sad that I have to say it back-to-back weeks or maybe even 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Is be number 9.
Wants to be number 9. Yeah. It's like the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So, yeah, check us out on YouTube. Also follow us on Twitter at BottomLineCast. And you can follow us personally on Twitter at MPRU83. That's me, Mike Prue. And JV is at John Van Damage. So check us out on Twitter there. We give updates about the show, and you can also just communicate with us about what you like, what you don't like, and whatever. Just talk about wrestling and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Also, JV and I do another show called the Extreme ECW Livecast, and that show is available on the Booking the Territory Pro Wrestling Podcast Patreon feed, which is at patreon.com/bookingtheterritory. And our show there, covering ECW, is a watch-along style show. So JV and I will generally watch 2 episodes back-to-back, watch-along style of ECW starting from the beginning, back in 1993. And this week, because of our technical difficulties that we had here on this show, also carried over to doing that show, allowed us to only do 1 show. So this past week, we did Hardcore TV episode 27, October 12th of 1993. So that's available now on the Booking the Territory Patreon feed at the $5 tier. So sign up for that. Check it out for a month and go through our episodes. They'll be all available to you. If you like it, continue on. If you don't, unsubscribe. Sign up again in a few months and check out the other episodes that come. Figure it out. You know how to work the system. So last time we did a watch along last week. And that was a very brief one. I had said we are going to do a Attitude Era update, but we're just going to do it because of our technical issues. So we said we're going to bring it to you this week to start the show. So instead of starting with Austin, we're going to start with the Attitude Era update. So let's get into it. Well, just to kind of set the mood, though, before we get into it. At Summerslam 1999, we covered this in the watch-along in our previous episode, episode 55, Center of the Ring. Mankind wins the WWF Championship in a triple threat match. Jesse Ventura as a great special guest referee.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
So that's where we left off there. So now, JV, you ready to get into this Attitude Era update?
Yes, I am.
All right, this is an Attitude Era catch-up because we're catching up. So some of this is going to be prior to SummerSlam, go beyond SummerSlam up until September 6th. So covering here August 16th, 1999 through September 6th of 1999. I'm just going to go through different storylines that were going on, give a little quick recap about some of the things that were happening in those storylines. The first storyline I want to touch on is The Rock and Billy Gunn. So on Raw from August 16th, 1998, Billy Gunn gets a rash on his ass. He gets a rash from a massage girl that was apparently paid off by The Rock to put the People's Poison Ivy on his ass. And this was captured on GTV. So that is part of their feud. They're building up to the SummerSlam match. And their feud's going to come to an end at this SummerSlam match, thankfully. Done with. Billy Gunn's getting kind of a rub being with The Rock, but The Rock is kind of being downgraded at this point to be dealing with Billy Gunn instead of being involved in the World Championship match at SummerSlam. So anyway, it's a kiss my ass match. And Billy Gunn is going to bring down some big girl. He has her covered up as he brings her down to the ring. And then reveals that she's this big ugly girl. And JR and Jerry Lawler are relentless with fat jokes about this woman. Which I felt like, holy shit, that comes off very bad.
Yeah. Try tweeting that and see what happens today.
Right. So the girl obviously was paid for the job, and she went along with it. And she even sticks her ass in Billy Gunn's face. And Billy Gunn gets the loss there. And The Rock gets the win. And JP got the ESPN update that Billy Gunn
Yes, I just got an alert.
lost the match, and The Rock is the winner there. So that kind of wraps up that feud that had been going on for a little while. But now we get into the WWF Championship scene. So we know Mankind is now the champion after SummerSlam. So the next night on Raw, August 23rd, 1999, Triple H is going to demand a title shot. He's even going to work on JR's arm. He's going to injure his arm. Then Mankind comes out, and he's going to promise Triple H a title shot. Triple H is going to win the match. He's going to become the WWF champion for the first time in his career. First of many times that he'll be the WWF champion. And it all goes down like this. So, outside of the ring, Mankind is hit with a steel chair by Shane McMahon and Triple H. The Rock is on commentary during this time. He gets nailed by a chair shot from Triple H. And Shane is outside as a ring official. He's a special guest outside ring official. And he takes out the ref, and then he goes into the ring as the referee. Triple H hits a pedigree on Mankind, who was hit with the chair. Shane makes the 3 count. Triple H is the champion there. So now we have it. Triple H is the champion. The night before, Mankind won the title. Every time Mankind wins the title, he loses it lickety-split, basically. And he's just like this transition guy. And I guess the story goes is that, we talked about it before, but Steve Austin didn't want to lose the belt to Triple H and wanted to turn it over to Mankind, and Mankind could take the loss to Triple H. He just didn't think that Triple H was at the spot where he should be able to defeat Stone Cold Steve Austin to win the title on his way out for an injury. And I agree. Even if that makes Steve Austin look like a prima donna, he deserves it. He turned that company.
Yeah, I mean, also, of course he deserves it. He made them tons of money.
Right, he turned them into a publicly traded company just within that next year. They wouldn't be in that position if it wasn't for him. You know, it's not like they gave him the shot. He took his shot. He became the star. They had to go with him because there was no denying it. It's not like Triple H where, all right, we got to figure out a heel. We need to figure out a guy to take the spot for a while. Triple H didn't do it on his own. He was put into the spot. It's not like Steve Austin. So totally different there. So there you have it, though. You got Triple H now as this champion. So let's see what he's going to do as champion. So on the first episode of Smackdown on August 26th, The Rock's going to come out, and he wants a title shot because he feels like he deserves one. He was left out of that match at SummerSlam. He had to wrestle Billy Gunn. He's pissed with that. He's like, I have to wrestle people like Billy Gunn. I have to wrestle Gangrel. And I don't get a damn shot at the title. So HBK comes out, the commissioner, and he says, you know what? All right, you get a match, and I'll be the special guest referee. Shane McMahon comes out. He says, all right, I'll be the second special guest referee. So the match is set. So at this point, HBK's like, you know, he's the babyface. Like, all right, I'll give you the match, and I'll be the referee. And then Shane McMahon, as the heel, comes out. All right, well, I'm going to be the second referee outside the ring. So he sets up the match. Mankind demands...
Which is silly.
Yeah. You already know something's going down.
Yeah, no shit. It's just, I don't know.
So Mankind demands a match against Shane, and he wants it during that night also. So they have a match, and Shane ends up actually beating Mankind on that episode of SmackDown, on the first episode, after a Triple H chair shot. And then we get this match where Triple H is actually going to retain the championship against The Rock. As The Rock is about to hit the people's elbow, referee HBK hits some sweet chin music on The Rock. He turns heel. He joins Triple H as Triple H hits the pedigree. And they all celebrate in the ring as Triple H has retained the title. Pulled the wool over The Rock, and HBK is now a heel again. And I don't think he's going to be around for long, but he's aligned himself as being on Triple H's side at this point. So a nice little twist on the first episode of SmackDown to get HBK to turn heel. And then following that on Raw from August 30th, The Rock cuts a promo about being cheated. The SmackDown title match that he just had there. And Shane tells Rock and Mankind that they're going to get their shot at Triple H if they beat their opponent. So they both want matches. The Rock and Mankind both want matches. And Shane sets it up that, all right, you'll have your match against Triple H if you beat your opponent. So The Rock has to go up against The Undertaker, and Mankind has to take on the Mean Street Posse. So Mankind takes on the Mean Street Posse, and Shane's a special ref. Like, what the fuck? Is Shane the special ref every single week? Every single episode?
Yeah, I know. And there's more. He's in a special ref and more to come.
Right.
That's what's crazier. Like, they're not done.
Nope.
There's more.
There's a lot more to come here from Shane McMahon. So Shane's a special ref there, and he's not gonna make the count. And Mankind applies Mr. Sacco to Shane McMahon. So Shane's being a dickhead, not making the count. So Mankind applies Mr. Sacco to Shane, and all of a sudden the match ends. And new ring announcer Lillian Garcia declares Mankind the winner. And then Shane's like, no, that's not right.
Which is weird because she's relatively new to the job.
Right. So she's announcing it thinking, all right, he wins because it's a DQ or something like that. So,
and just from a story point perspective, this is kind of when Lillian Garcia starts to get more of a presence on TV. So she's new, right?
Right.
And then they're also building her character, which is, interesting because obviously we see how great she is. Current day, she's looked at as one of the better all time.
Right. Yeah. Longevity usually does that too.
Yep.
So anyway, she declares Mankind the winner, and then Shane tells her to announce that the Posse is the winner because Mankind touched Shane. And that was supposed to be against the rules that Mankind can't touch Shane. So The Rock also loses his match too. So you have both situations where they were trying to get a number one contendership match, and they both lose. So The Rock loses his match to The Undertaker after Big Show comes in and chokeslams The Rock through a table. Triple H and Mankind both run down after the match, but Undertaker and Big Show kick their ass. So, like I said, nobody gets a title shot. So, a whole bunch of nothing happening on that episode of Raw from August 30th, 1999. A whole lot of hoopla. So, that's kind of what will go on, though, is who's going to be the number one contender? Who's the number one contender? And nothing gets settled during this time. Going on to Smackdown Episode 2 from September 2nd, 1999, Mankind's going to come out there and cut some stupid promo about how he's embarrassed that he lost to Shane. The only time he was more embarrassed is when he was playing electronic football naked and his mother walked in on him. It's like, okay. So Mankind goes on and says he's going to kick some ass, and he introduces The Rock. So we're going to get the beginning of something special here. Shane heads down and makes The Rock and Mankind face each other for a title shot for the WWF Championship. Okay, so one thing we haven't gotten to at this point is that by now, by September 2nd, 1999, The Rock and Mankind are tag team champions. And we'll get to that in just a moment when I cover some of the tag team stuff.
Which is television gold,
right.
Seeing these two guys together.
Yes. You get the Rock and Sock connection established here by September of 1999. So they're supposed to go at it with each other in a match, and the winner's going to be the number one contender. And if they don't go head-to-head, then there's going to be a 60-day suspension for both of them. So Shane's going to tease that Triple H will have to defend against Austin tonight. He says, you're going to be facing bald-headed SOB. That's the bottom line because Shane McMahon said so. And then it ends up being Gilbert. So throughout the night, Triple H is pissed, like, it's going to be Stone Cold, and they're hyping up the crowd, thinking that it's Stone Cold. And then you get Gilbert come out wearing his light heavyweight championship, and immediately he hits Triple H with the spear. And then it's over from there. Triple H kicks his ass, but I thought it was funny. I liked it. Yeah, you work the crowd, thinking you're going to get Austin versus Triple H, and pull Gilbert back out of nowhere. Which at this point, Goldberg's still the top guy over in WCW. So he's still shitting on him. It's kind of like rubbing it in their face at this point. Like, you guys so far behind, we're still going to make fun of you, though.
Just remember, we still hate you.
Yeah. All right, so The Rock and Mankind, they have their match, and Shane calls Triple H and China to hit the ring. They both beat on Mankind and The Rock. Shane, as the ref, calls for the bell. Mankind and The Rock clear the ring. Shane's going to call it a double DQ. So once again, the finish is there's no number one contender. Again. And then leading up to Raw on September 6th, 1999, Triple H is talking about, he's got a promo talking about how he beat up Kane, he crippled Stone Cold Steve Austin, put Mankind out for 3 months. His resume speaks volumes. Linda McMahon comes out, and Triple H tells her to get her ass out of this business. And then, out of nowhere, Billy Gunn is going to get involved with Triple H, and a match is set up with them for later in the night for a WWF Championship match between Triple H and Billy Gunn. So that's the main event we get here on Raw from September 6, 1999. Triple H is ultimately going to hit a pedigree and retain the championship. Shane and China come in to celebrate. Kane comes down for revenge for being hit with a sledgehammer by China and Triple H earlier in the show. Kane's going to chokeslam China, then Triple H, and then also Shane will get chokeslam as the show ends. And also, right at this point, that's when JR is going to announce that Steve Austin is going to make his return on September 9th on Smackdown. So, throughout that time, from SummerSlam up to this point, Austin is off TV. And that's why we have a whole lot of Triple H going on during that time. Now we move on now to the tag team title scene. So we're starting off with Kane and X-Pac as champions. And on Raw 325 from August 16th, right before SummerSlam, Kane and X-Pac retain against the Acolytes. And Big Show and Undertaker, their opponents at SummerSlam, are looking on as they win that match. And then at SummerSlam, the Acolytes are going to win a tag team turmoil match, which they must love at this point because I feel like there's like 3 tag team turmoil matches where it's just, all right, so I don't know, what's the other name for a turmoil match? It's like
a grudge match? What do you mean?
What's where 2 teams start a gauntlet match. Yeah, gauntlet.
Oh, gauntlet. Oh,
yeah.
And then another team shows up and one loses. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, gauntlet.
Yeah. So it's a gauntlet match basically, and the Acolytes win that, and they become the number 1 contenders. But there is a title match also at SummerSlam. Undertaker and Big Show take on Kane and X-Pac. They will win the WWF Tag Team titles at SummerSlam. But Undertaker is pissed at Big Show because he made a sloppy cover on X-Pac. So throughout the next couple of weeks, Undertaker is going to try to toughen up Big Show, and he's going to make him fight in matches by himself. Undertaker is going to sit at commentary during tag team matches. He's just trying to train Big Show to be tough and not be a puss.
Yeah, trying to toughen him up.
Right.
Which is awkward. Taker cuts some rough promos.
He does, and he slaps him in the face a couple times.
Yeah.
So from there, though, on Raw 327, The Rock and Mankind are going to team up. This is on August 30th, 1999 in Boston, Massachusetts. They will defeat Undertaker, The Big Show, The Unholy Alliance, and the Rock and Sock connection is created here in Boston, Massachusetts, and they win the WWF Tag Team Championship.
These guys rule. This is one of the best tag teams of all time.
It is. It's great.
It sucks because it's obviously 2 of the greatest individual wrestlers of all time, but I don't know. These 2 guys just like, from an entertainment perspective, just like even as individuals, they got to be like at least at the top 10 all time, probably top 5.
Man, I don't know where to rank them, but they're fucking fun for the time period that we're in, especially in a time when they're just combining singles wrestlers into tag teams. This was gold.
Yeah,
they found in this combination.
Well, the banter they have back and forth is just fucking money.
Well, just how Mankind is always trying to kiss up to The Rock and be funny like The Rock,
and then but then degrades himself for The Rock. Like, I don't know, it's fucking awesome.
Wow, it's great shit. So from there, after the Rock and Sock connection win the titles, The Undertaker is going to abandon the Big Show during that match. Actually, that's how Big Show gets beat, is that The Undertaker just walked off on him. And Big Show's kind of pissed about that the next time they come face-to-face on SmackDown Episode 2 from September 2nd, 1999. Big Show's going to confront Paul Bearer. Paul Bearer comes out, and Big Show's going to kick his ass. And then Undertaker makes a bitch out of Big Show. Says, don't ever think of talking to me like that again. So that happens there. And then you get another fucking tag team turmoil gauntlet match for the number one contendership. I mean, God, this whole segment, this Attitude Era segment that we're doing could have been called Number One Contender. Because every single match during this time frame, it's a number one contender match for the title.
Yeah, it keeps bouncing around.
I feel like actually it's been that even prior to this episode.
It was, because we've had the similar discussion on like episode 54.
Right.
Or 53.
Going back to the well. It's like,
where you never know who the number one contender is going to be. Like when they were changing it from like China, but you knew it wasn't going to be China.
Right, exactly.
And all that.
Okay, so it ends. They're going to have this tag team turmoil match, and it's going to end in a DQ, so you don't figure out who's going to be the number one contender. But the only good thing that comes out of that is that the Dudley Boys make their WWF debut coming out of ECW here during this. So they're right on the scene now as one of the top tag teams. They disrupt the whole thing there. Later in the show, Mankind and The Rock are forced to face Triple H and Shane McMahon by Linda McMahon. Linda McMahon thinks she's punishing Triple H and Shane McMahon by going up against The Rock and Mankind. But Shane McMahon has other plans. He's like, okay, I'll do that, but we want the titles on the line. So, titles are on the line in that match. The Rock and Mankind will retain because Billy Gunn runs in and hits the Faymaster on Triple H. And The Rock lands the Rock Bottom and gets the People Elbow for the win. And then you have another fucking tag team turmoil match. The two teams that were left in the turmoil match, they have a match that is going to determine the number one contenders. Which, thank goodness, they didn't make us go through a whole turmoil match again. They just said, okay, the last two people that were in the match when the Dudley Boys came out and screwed everybody, they can have their own match. And that will determine who the winners are for the number one contenders here. And that was Edge and Christian against the Acolytes. And Edge and Christian actually get the shot. They become number one contenders. So we're getting to the point where Edge and Christian are starting to be one of the top tag teams.
Yep.
And then backstage, when Edge and Christian are giving their interview, the Dudley Boys attack. And then the Acolytes come out. So they're all fighting back and forth. And that is kind of going to set up the stage for like the next year where you have Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, and then ultimately the Hardys get involved in this feud too.
But this is the start of the future greatness.
Yeah.
There's fucking tons of tag teams right now that end up being like...
Yes, the revival.
Some of the memorable.
Revival of the tag teams. Because from 98 through 99, we're getting to the point where, all these tag teams suck. And then they started doing, like I was saying, just putting singles guys together. And that helped for a little bit. And then you start to see some teams come in again. And then it brought back, all right, tag teams, Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys. Now you had a tag team division again. But back to The Rock and Mankind. The Rock's going to cut a funny promo. And I had to bring it up because it's from Raw 328, September 6, 1999. He cuts a promo on The Undertaker about their upcoming Buried Alive match they're going to have on SmackDown. And he does his impressions. He does the Big Show choke slam thing.
Yeah.
Then he does The Undertaker. All you do is like, die, die, die.
Yeah.
So that's just a memorable little segment there. So I had to bring that up as he's talking shit about his opponents coming up. Later in the night, The Rock and Mankind defend the titles against Kane and X-Pac. X-Pac doesn't come out with Kane. And now, actually, Triple H comes out and teams up with Kane instead. Then China comes out with the sledgehammer. Triple H slams the sledgehammer into Kane's back. And The Rock hits the Rock Bottom on Kane for the win. So I don't know where they're going with that because it doesn't come of anything. Kane and Triple H don't have a feud immediately. But that's kind of random. You got the WWF Champion involved here with Kane, and nothing comes of it. So The Rock and Mankind, actually, they do have a match later, but it's not a feud. The Rock and Mankind retain the titles there, and Triple H continues to beat on Kane, which will lead to a title match that they will have with each other on an episode of Raw. And then from there, you have the Undertaker come out, and he's like a whole new Undertaker at this point. He's got a bandana on. He's got like ripped sleeve t-shirt on. So he's changing his look little by little here. He's becoming, like we've said, a little bit more biker. And he's almost completely there. He's going to take a little bit of time off soon. Then when he comes back, he will be the Biker Taker completely. So that kind of concludes what's going on with the Tag Team Championship. Let's take a look at what's going on with Chris Jericho. Okay, so we got a new face here. And this is a bright spot to the shows to see Chris Jericho.
Yeah, for sure.
His storyline at this point is he's got the Fink being his little bitch boy.
Yeah, Harold.
Harold, yeah. Calls him by the wrong name.
That's right. He calls him fucking Harold.
Oh, man. So he wants the Fink to be his warrior. I want you to be my warrior. So the Fink is going to come out later on Raw 326 from August 23rd, 1999 to the Ultimate Warrior's music. He runs out. He thinks he's like this great big warrior. He challenges the Road Dogg and gets his ass beat, but then Jericho blindsides Road Dogg. And then on SmackDown episode 1, August 26th, Jericho's going to have a match with the Road Dogg. And it's going to end up in a DQ after Jericho powerbombs Road Dogg through a table, puts him on a lion tamer, or the walls of Jericho as it will become, and he doesn't let him go. Then after the match, Fink is told, you need to be a warrior. So Fink starts arguing with Tony Chimmel, and then Tony beats the shit out of Fink. So Fink's just this little bitch. And I like it because it's built up. We've seen it even before Jericho came, that Fink is this stooge that just goes running to McMahon, goes running to whoever to, like, give little secrets away, to start shit. So it's cool to see him in this situation now where people are going to start getting pissed at him, kick his ass. Little bitch. So anyway, that's what's going on with Jericho mostly. It leads to a feud with Ken Shamrock.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. And this is being built up over the weeks where Shamrock is chasing Jericho around, chasing the Fink around. There's even one instance where Shamrock is chasing Jericho, and Jericho pulls off in his car and leaves Finkel behind. And then Finkel pisses his pants or shits his pants or something like that. Yeah, he shits his pants.
Shits his pants, poops it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Shamrock's like, what the hell's that?
They totally ripped that off from the Suburban Commando movie.
Oh, was it Suburban Commando or was it No Holds Barred?
I'm pretty sure.
What's that smell? Dookie.
Yeah, Dookie.
Yeah, I think it's No Holds Barred.
I'll tell you right now. Which one's Dookie? Dookie. Hulk Hogan.
So as you're looking that up, I'm actually watching Impact Wrestling.
No Holds Barred.
And Ken Shamrock is in a match right now. Here in 2019, Ken Shamrock's still wrestling some match.
I'd seen that on the interwebs, that he was back wrestling. He looks jacked.
Yeah.
But like old man Jack.
Right. Yeah.
It's like
thinning hair Jack, too. Like,
yeah.
Right.
The skin's a little different.
Yeah.
Just the muscles don't like fill the body as, I don't know.
Yeah, the muscles are there. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
I don't know how to describe it. Some fitness person's like, it's fucking elasticity, something. I don't give a fuck. He looks old man. He's old man Jack.
Right, he's 50. He's gonna be 50 something.
Yeah, like 50 is old.
No, I know.
When you're jacked and you're 50, it just looks funny. Usually,
if your shirt's off.
Yeah, look at Vinnie Mac. Right, he's 50 through all this.
Right.
He looks a little,
He wears a shirt.
Yeah, they didn't have the supplements like
He just shows off his arms usually.
Yeah, I'm talking shit about these dudes. I'm like a fat guy behind a computer, like,
Right.
that guy's fat jacked.
He's skinny fat.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
It's like fucking pound a Snickers bar.
All right, anyway, so 20 years ago, Ken Shamrock's chasing around Chris Jericho, and both of these guys are wrestling still. Yeah, man. So anyway.
Fuck, 20 years later.
So that's the gist of their feud, though, is Jericho is playing this little chicken shit heel, getting Shamrock to chase him around. There's another instance where Shamrock runs out, and he thinks it's Jericho, but it's Finkel in Jericho's clothing with his arms out like he's Jericho. He turns him around, it's Fink, and then starts kicking the shit out of him. So Fink takes a lot of beatings from Shamrock during this time. It's pretty funny stuff. So this whole build-up, though, got me interested. Like, all right, I want to see this match. When the hell's this match going to happen?
Yeah, and Jericho's fucking damn good at that. Even when he was in WCW prior to this.
Yep.
Like, he was good at getting the crowd interested in his shit, even when the machine didn't want him to be.
Right, because you look at it on paper, Ken Shamrock versus Chris Jericho. All right.
Yeah, it's basically what he was doing with Bill Goldberg in WCW, and now he's kind of doing it here with...
Yeah, you're right.
Ken Shamrock, because he did it with fucking... He had that guy. The fuck was his name in WCW?
Ralphus.
Old man. Ralphus, yeah.
Yeah, so same thing, basically, yeah. That's funny, yeah. I didn't even think of that, but it's totally exactly...
I didn't until now, just like speaking it out loud. I was like, oh yeah. It's kind of the same fucking thing.
Yeah. So that's some good stuff going on there prior to what we're going to get to. And that'll continue on in the next couple of weeks. But let's move on now to Test and Stephanie. And what's happening there basically is Test is going to defeat Shane McMahon in a Grant Street fight, love her or leave her match at SummerSlam. And it was actually a pretty good match at SummerSlam, surprisingly. And I think I give all the credit to Shane McMahon. Sorry, frog in my throat here. But Shane McMahon, I had no respect until recently. Going back and watching some of his older matches, I didn't see it at the time. I was just like, "Oh, that's the boss's kid. Fuck him." Not noticing how good he was. But
really?
Yeah,
I think we all like. I remember being younger and recognizing how good he was.
Yeah, I wasn't in that.
I've always been I mean, obviously I didn't like, but like once he started wrestling, it was like, this guy's actually like, he's not just the boss's kid.
Yeah, I didn't think that right away.
No shit.
Yeah, it's taken me having to go back and actually see. Oh shit, he was this good all along. Like,
yeah.
Even when he came back just recently, in the past few years, like, Shane McMahon, I don't give a shit about him having a match with the Undertaker or whatever. But if I would have went back earlier than that and watched these matches, I know he had a great one with Kurt Angle.
Yep.
I respected that, but I didn't think it was this early on that he was that good. And he's good. He's good from the jump, basically.
I have to agree with you though. When he was coming back, I was hesitant because I don't know, like he's not. I didn't think he still kept up as an athlete. I guess to put it that way.
Right.
Like I was like, like no way. This guy's old. He's a dad now. Like I did not think he was gonna perform. Like he's putting on awesome matches now. That's why he's fucking getting like main event spots on the card.
Right.
Because he's putting on
wrestling with AJ Styles.
Yeah. You watch his matches and you're ever like, oh, that sucked. No, never.
Oh,
I'm sure some, but like for the most part, when he's in a big spot on a big pay-per-view, that guy always fucking delivers.
He does. AJ Styles, X-Pac, Kurt Angle, even the Undertaker match.
I didn't think he'd do this.
Oh, fucking great. So anyway, Tess is going to have that win there. Stephanie is going to get proposed to. She's hesitant at first, but then she accepts the proposal, and they're going to get married October 11th on Raw, apparently. And I looked ahead. I looked at that episode, the rundown of it, and there's nothing about them getting married. So something must have changed, and we'll get to that. But that's what the plan is at this point, and Test now has the Stooges along his side. He wants them to be the best men at his wedding. And they're also going to join together to beat up the Mean Street Posse on the September 6th episode of Raw. So that's pretty much what's going on with Test and Stephanie. And then that now brings us to the IC title scene with Jeff Jarrett. And Jeff Jarrett is going to regain the IC title at SummerSlam against D'Lo Brown, who I just actually saw on Impact as we're recording this. And he looks a little different 20 years later, but that's how it all is. But hey, he's still out there in the wrestling world. So D'Lo loses the title here. Not only the IC title, but also the European title. And he loses it when Mark Henry turns on him by hitting him with Jeff Jarrett's guitar. So that was a random turn. You thought they were going to be, best buds forever. D'Lo was helping him train and get in shape, and then all of a sudden, Mark Henry turns on him. It's a swerve, bro. So that's what happened,
bro. It's a swerve, bro.
So Mark Henry, the next night after Jeff Jarrett wins the IC title and the European title, and I think this might be the third time this happens, is that the European title is just handed to somebody. You're the champ now. It's happened numerous times in the reign.
It happens with another title soon, too.
Yep. So there it is there. Mark Henry is now the European champion, and he's going to be in a feud with D'Lo Brown over the next couple of weeks here. And then Jeff Jarrett is going to start to get into his feud with Chyna. And he's going to be on a little woman streak where he's going to start attacking women all the time and showing his might as a man. So that's where we're getting to here with Jeff Jarrett as the IC champion. Chyna's going to become the number one contender for the IC title when she beats Billy Gunn on Smackdown episode 2 from September 2nd of 1999. And this all comes about because Jeff Jarrett's going to accidentally hit her with the guitar in one match, and then she wants revenge, so she hits him. JR, I don't know if it was an accident, but the week prior to this number one contender match, JR said, Chyna's going to be facing Jeff Jarrett at Unforgiven. Then the next week they have the match and Chyna wins. So I don't know if that was a screw up or they just said, fuck it. Who cares? Just have the match anyway. Not everybody picked it up, I'm sure. And then the last thing that happens is that Jeff Jarrett's going to talk some shit to Chyna and say, you're going to find out what happens when women step in Jeff Jarrett's world. And
he plays this role so well, which is scary.
And he's going to have a match with Jackie. And I was surprised because he just manhandles Jackie. And she's supposed to be this tough bitch. He doesn't put up much
he
of a
don't
fight.
fuck around. He don't fuck around with these women either. That's
No.
just funny. No, I mean, fuck. It's funny, but
no, yeah, it's funny in the sense of what they're trying to do.
They don't even let them even from the point of performance. For in storyline purposes, they don't even try to put the women over.
Right. All right, now let's move on to probably one of the shittiest things that happened is the hardcore title scene. And this is a top candidate for Oh Hell No, right from the start. So we're going to have Al Snow, and he's going to start to bring his dog to the ring, his dog Pepper. And Bossman's going to attack Al Snow on Raw 325 from August 16, 1999. And he attacks him with a nightstick. And then they have a match at SummerSlam. And it's a hardcore match. Al Snow's ultimately going to win it and become the hardcore champion again. But Bossman's pissed. So on the first episode of Smackdown from August 26th, Bossman's going to take Pepper, kidnap Pepper, hold her hostage, him hostage, I don't know what the fuck it is. But takes Pepper. And Bossman doesn't give the dog back. So he said, all right, I want a rematch. And I'll give you the dog back. But he doesn't give the dog back. And then he says, all right, Pepper's all right. But you'll get him back when you go to my hotel room. Come up to my hotel room next week when we're in Boston on SmackDown. Actually, is it Boston? It's in Worcester, I think. So in Worcester on September 2nd, come to the hotel room. So Al Snow goes to meet Bossman in the hotel room, and he's even calling him by his real name. He calls him Ray Trailer. Hey Ray, come on, where's Pepper? No, just sit back and relax. I got some dinner for you. Sit back and relax. It's the finest food in Massachusetts. Fucking finest food in Massachusetts. All right, great. You gonna pull us into this?
What are we even known for food besides like clam chowder?
Maybe our Chinese food.
I have to say, I've had Chinese food in other states and it's not the same.
No, it's not. And they don't have the chow mein that we have.
No.
We got the shitty
Their Chinese
noodles.
food sucks. They're probably like, our Chinese food's garbage.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, you know what I mean?
Right, not authentic.
Yeah, not even close. It's like total marketing failure. You could call it Portuguese food. No one would know. I don't know.
Fucking tastes good. That's all I know.
Yeah, you and I should open one.
I want the fried fucking noodles.
It's a fucking American restaurant.
Yeah.
But it sells like pseudo
Imagine
Chinese
that.
food.
Like, if we opened up a Chinese fast food chain.
Yeah. Well, we don't even recognize it as a Chinese food, but that's what we're selling.
Yeah.
It's like, it's America's pastime. And they're like, what? Motherfucker? These are the red ribs from every Chinese restaurant. It's teriyaki on a stick.
Where I was going, though, is, two guys like us just open up a Chinese restaurant. Not Chinese food.
Funny.
I mean, Chinese food from our area. And they even have like a Chinese name for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't go over well. But anyway, Big Boss
They call
Man.
it the Orient Express.
I don't think we can use Orient anymore either.
Really? You can't? That's a bad word?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, jeez.
Orient. All it means is east. That's all Orient means.
What the fuck do people take it as?
Oh. It's either people that... I don't know. I don't know.
So you have to like be accurate every time? You can't. Can you say Asian?
I guess you could say Asian.
You have to be like, I'm not Asian, you fucking asshole. I'm Vietnamese.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, people could get mad about that. I'm not Asian.
I'm gonna start getting mad at people like, hey, white boy. But like, I'm not white. I'm Portuguese.
Right. I'm not white. I'm not Caucasian. What's Caucasian? Yeah. Fuck you. I'm not from the Caucasus Mountains in Asia. That's where it comes from. I'm fucking from America. I'm American. I'm not Caucasian.
That's what Caucasian means?
Yeah.
It's Asian?
It's people that originally settled in the Caucasus region of Asia, and then they migrated into the European continent and settled there, and then obviously they came to the Americas. But,
no shit. Yeah. That's cool.
So yeah.
Cool you know that.
Fucking, I'm offended you call me that. I don't like that term. That means that I'm from over there, and I'm not from over there.
Yeah.
So whatever.
That's different. Yeah.
But anyway, fuck. Anybody can be pissed off for whatever fucking reason they want to be pissed off for. And half the times, people aren't pissed off. They just want to be pissed off at people. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
All right. Off my rant. Now let's get back to the Big Boss Man feeding somebody a dog.
Yeah. Jeez. Went off the rails there.
So Big Boss Man's going to say, yeah, you got the finest food in Massachusetts. And he takes that in. It's fucking Chinese food. It's legit Chinese food on the plate. You can tell. So Al Snow's like, I like it. It's actually pretty good. Not bad. And then Bossman says, hey, try not to get one of those paws stuck in your teeth. That's right, Al. 100 grade A pepper. Then Bossman stuffs his face in more pepper. The only reason I guess you can laugh about it is because obviously he didn't kill a fucking dog. It's in poor taste, obviously. But they didn't kill a fucking dog. So we know that's not happening there. So it is the 1990s, and it is a shitty thing. They would never do it today. So that's what happens there. And this is also a spoof on a Mr. Fuji story where it's believed that he actually did kill a dog and feed it to somebody. So that's pretty fucking crazy. JV, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm here. I didn't know what to say.
I know. It's a tough thing to talk about.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid.
I don't like the guy as it is. Never did.
No,
never
you always
liked this
talk
guy.
about you don't like Big Boss Man.
So like even
This makes him
Oh,
a huge heel.
I actually like Big Boss Man compared to fucking Al Snow.
Yeah, me too.
I hate Al Snow.
Yeah,
So these are two guys. Yeah, I really don't. I don't really like. You like Al Snow?
No, I like some of
he
his
sucks.
matches in ECW, and I had high hopes when he came over here. I think he's just a clown, basically.
Yeah, this character. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
character
Like,
sucks.
I don't know. I don't get the entertainment out of it. Not my cup of tea.
No. So, surprising that right after the skit, I mean, I guess it's not surprising because that's the look that I had on my face. That's the look that probably everybody had on their face. Is Jerry Lawler right after the segment, right after Big Bossman says, "Yeah, tastes like chicken." Then it cuts to Jerry Lawler's face is shocked, looking on. He's like, "What the fuck did I just watch?" I'm not even gonna say anything because how shitty this segment was. That's basically what he's thinking. It's like, wow, I can't say anything. I just sat here and I'm part of a segment where we had one dude feed a dog to another dude.
Yeah, like come on, why?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's not entertainment. Entertainment.
No, not when it's reality. Like it's reality based. Okay, we know they're actors and everything, but it's reality based.
All right, you tell me where that's the only place I see that ever being actually entertaining or even close to entertaining is in like a cartoon setting.
Yeah, Family Guy.
Oh, all right. I said you can't use like real people.
No, you can't use real
in
people
any
for stuff
setting,
like that.
and that be funny.
Right.
Like some people, that's like porn in some countries.
Yeah. Right. That's generally off limits to have that as part of a storyline. Now, of course, in movies we see horrible shit all the time, but generally in movies they stay away from showing or alluding to killings of animal, like a pet.
Yeah.
Like, or I guess in some movie, one off the top of my head, Fear from 1994.
Yeah, rated R though.
Right,
These are
rated.
rated R
Yeah, it's rated
movies.
R. Right, it's not on TV. You have to go to theaters to see it. Mark Wahlberg kills the family dog. You don't see it happen. You just know it happened.
Yeah. Same thing with Mike Myers.
Yeah.
He kills the dog in the first Halloween.
Right, exactly.
And eats it.
Yep.
They imply that he eats it. They don't show him they're fucking chowing on a dog
he
leg.
needed food though. Yeah, that's why. Right, that's how they implied it. He had to get food, so he killed the dog.
Yeah, that was actually good storytelling. Think how demented the guy was.
Yeah, he couldn't just go into a store and buy anything.
Yeah.
Although he could have went into a store and just killed everybody and took a bunch of snacks, a bunch of funny
took
bones
like
or something.
Yeah, that's funny. I thought the same thing. That's fucked up. I was thinking of funny bones. I thought of funny bones and Twinkies in that order.
All right, so that concludes that. And just real briefly before we get out of here and move on to the Austin stuff, we got Hardcore Holly and his cousin comes into play here, Crash Holly, which to me right away was, Crash Holly's just basically Mini-Me gimmick. It's 1999. Yeah. Austin Powers, A Spy Who Shagged Me came out. Mini-Me makes his debut in that. So it's almost like, and I can guarantee Vince Russo would have thought something like that. Like, we got to have a Mini-Me, bro.
Good catch.
Got to have Mini-Me. So popular right now.
Mini-Me, bro.
So that's Crash Holly, is fucking Mini-Me. And I'm the first to say it in a while. Maybe somebody said it, but
I'm the first to say
first to say, goddammit.
I've laid claim.
Yes, I call claim to that catch.
Granted. I guess I'm the only one to approve it.
And if you have anything to say about it, hit us on Twitter. We're waiting for you guys to respond to us.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So you have Crash Holly and Hardcore Holly. They're gonna have this hate relationship. They're gonna be partners, but they're always gonna be fighting each other. And then on the women's title scene, you got Ivory as the champion. She's gonna retain her title at SummerSlam against Tori, who's growing on me. She's becoming hotter than I ever thought she was.
Same here.
Over the times that we see her. Ivory goes on a little rant at one point on Raw from August 30th, calling her a slut. Tori's a big time slut. Like wow, I was like, I didn't hear that word so many times since I've watched porn or something. Like this is just on regular TV, saying that, yelling that out. So anyway, that's Ivory's thing is she's all proper, which is cool because she is going to be part of the that faction, what the fuck's it called? The Right to Censor. She's gonna be part of Right to Censor, where she's gonna be totally against like showing skin and all that. So that already fits her character. That she's totally against Tori as being like this slut whore character.
Yeah.
And that kind of wraps up things here with our first update. We knew it was going to be lengthy because basically we haven't done one in 2 weeks. So we have a whole lot of shit that we haven't gotten to, and we didn't want to not give it to you guys and do it justice because we wanted the story to flow a little bit leading up to the return of Austin on September 9th of 1999. So with that said, we're going to take a quick little break and move on to the Austin storyline portion of the show. But while we take that break, take a listen to our boys at Talking Taker, and we'll be right back.
Deadman walking.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, Stone Cold fans? This is Alex Dorio, one of the hosts of Talking Taker. And along with my co-host and fellow creature of the night, Travis White, we are digging up the career of the Deadman, one pay-per-view match at a time, on a podcast journey that's a lot like what you're listening to right now on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. So if you're enjoying what Mike and JV are doing here, going through the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin, come check us out as we explore the Undertaker's 3 decades of destruction. We're right in the midst of the Biker Taker era right now, so you can jump right in or start over from the beginning and hear us discuss the Undertaker's side of the story from his many battles with the Rattlesnake, The Rock, Mankind, and more. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, YouTube, Spotify, and more. And you can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Talking Taker. Thanks to Mike and JV for letting us plug the show, and take her easy. What? I said, take her easy.
All right, and we're back now. We're back at it with Austin. Feels like it's been a while. It's been basically 2 weeks since we've gotten back into the Austin storyline. 2 weeks ago, we did episode 55 where we covered up the Summerslam, but then we did a little break with the watch along. So we just watched the match with Austin, and then we just spent nearly an hour going over the things that happened between SummerSlam and this point here at September 9th of 1999 where Austin was out. So Austin had to deal with some injuries, and Triple H kayfabe took him out for a while, and Austin's going to be back for some revenge here, starting with this episode of Smackdown, episode 3, again from August 9th, 1999 in Albany, New York. JB, you ready to get into this?
I'm ready, dude.
All right, so this show was taped on September 7th, 1999. It'll be aired on September 9th, 1999. So this is the beginning of a school year. So this would be the beginning of my junior year and JV's sophomore year. So this is prime time for us in the Attitude Era during our high school years. The beginning of a new show, beginning of a Smackdown show. We had Raw, and WWF is off and running. And WCW, in my mind at this point, is in the rearview mirror. I'm like, fuck that shit already. So here we are, and Austin's going to make his comeback here, but it's going to start first off with a tag team title match that happens on SmackDown. You're going to get the Rock and Sock Connection against the Unholy Alliance of Big Show and The Undertaker. And basically what happens here is that this is a Buried Alive match, a Buried Alive tag team match. Now just imagine what kind of shit show that is. You have all these guys fighting all over the place.
Yeah.
And one of them has to end up in the freaking grave. And that's what we have here is Taker is at the gravesite. And I'm just going to go over the final moments of the match here. So Taker is back at the gravesite and nails Mankind from behind. And Taker's going to toss Mankind in, like legit, off the freaking stage. Tosses his body all the way through and across and into the grave. And then he starts to shovel in there. Mankind's going to get out quickly. Then he gets tossed right back in. And Big Show starts to work on Mankind inside the grave. Starts stomping on him. And Taker tells Big Show, bury Mankind. Bury him in there. Taker walks off. He just leaves him alone. Okay, because like we were saying earlier, in that Attitude Era update, that he's trying to toughen Big Show up. Do it on your own. So Taker walks off, and then The Rock's gonna come back out, and he makes his return, and you get a complete shit show. And Triple H returns there. We got the coughs here in Massachusetts. We got some shitty ass weather.
Yeah, sorry.
So pardon us if we sniffle and cough from here and there. We'll try to do our best.
I'm trying to mute it out,
ourselves, but you know, it's fucking cold weather up here. Yeah, we got some snow coming again, like we did last week. But Triple H is gonna nail Big Show out of nowhere with the sledgehammer, and Triple H begins to bury Mankind. Earl Hebner, of all guys, is gonna call for the bell and end the match, and we got Big Show and Undertaker winning the tag team titles. So, short reign for The Rock and Mankind. Few week reign, which I guess at this point is kind of long for title reigns. If you see what's going on with the world title and the IC title, every belt is flip flopping at this time.
Yeah, it's moving around quick.
Yeah, so Big Show and Undertaker win those titles, and Earl Hebner, just what a fuckhead. He's they just make him look like a fuckhead. I mean, I've been on him, on his ass all along, but there's just so many instances where he just looks like a shithead. Triple H is not even in this match. Triple H freaking buries Mankind. And Earl Hebner is going to award the match to Big Show and Undertaker while Triple H is burying Mankind. Wouldn't you think Big Show or Undertaker should be the one putting the dirt on Mankind? Not Triple H. But he's like, okay, yeah, that's it. Mankind's buried. That's it. Two guys that didn't bury him win the titles.
Yeah, you know what my issue, and my other issue, I guess another issue I have with this match is that Mankind's burying Big Show.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and it's like, oh, he doesn't. It's like, how much dirt does the guys have to be on the guy for them to fucking call it?
Yeah, they never specify that.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, he was shoveling on Big Show for a while. Like, I understand Big Show's a big dude, so he's going to take more to shovel. But like, I felt like Mankind won the match, and they're just like, oh yeah, he hasn't buried him yet.
Once they're in, you put dirt on them, it should be over.
That's what. Yeah, that's kind of
like, what do you expect? How much dirt are they going to put on? They're going to actually cover their body, and you're going to see them completely covered in dirt? I mean, at least that one other time they did it with Austin. He got the backhoe and just dumped a bunch of dirt. That kind of worked, doing it that way. But if you're shoveling it on by hand, just freaking call the match once he does like maybe three shovels of dirt on him, and he doesn't get up. So I totally agree with you there. That is bullshit. This whole match is bullshit. So it is dumb, and the title changes there. Post-match, though, which is why we're talking about this match, Austin's going to make his return. So at 1 hour, 23 minutes into this episode of Smackdown from September 9th, 1999, which is 9/9/99. JV, I don't know why I remember this, but you, being a gamer, you might remember what that is. 9/9/99.
I'm going to say Madden 99.
No, Dreamcast.
Oh, that's when Dreamcast. I never owned Dreamcast.
I did have Dreamcast. Yeah.
It was awesome, though. I always wanted one.
Yeah, you come over to my house and had a few games we'd play on there.
Yeah. You had one. I didn't. I don't think Rob had one either.
No.
But you had one, and my cousin Jimmy had one.
Oh.
If I'm not mistaken, it was Jimmy. And I just live through you guys.
Yeah, so that came out 9/9/99, so that's what made me think of that. But anyway, so Austin is going to make his comeback here, and what happens is, they got the paramedic truck backing up. So I already gave away what the fuck happens, but the paramedic truck backs into the arena to help Mankind out of the grave, and Triple H looks down at Big Show and then the ambulance. Triple H goes up to the ambulance, he opens the back of it, and then right there, Austin, right in the back there, flips the birds, and hits Triple H with a clothesline as he dives out of the back of the ambulance, and Austin attacks him on the grave mound. Austin tosses him off the mound, throws him into the ambulance, shuts the doors. Austin gets into the driver's seat and drives off. And then Austin's going to proceed to park the ambulance. Then he's going to get into a Freightliner semi-truck. Then he crashes it into the ambulance. Austin and
This
vehicles,
shit's intense.
Man.
This part was intense.
It was pretty damn cool.
And I like, and we'll get to it, but I like how when this happened, my first thought was like, dude, that's like attempted murder. And I was watching it again.
It is.
Then obviously, yeah, but they
they always have
they
attempted
play
murder.
they play the law enforcement part into it, which we'll get into.
That's true. They do. So that leads us now to the next episode of Raw, which is Raw 329 from September 13th of 1999. This is going to be live from Anaheim, California. And this is going to be a Linda McMahon Triple H promo that starts the show. And we're not going to play it for you, but we'll just go through it briefly. Triple H is going to arrive with his police escort, as JV was just alluding to, that it was assault, so Triple H doesn't feel safe. Quotes there, he doesn't feel safe, so he wants this police escort to back him up throughout this night. Linda McMahon's going to make her way down. She comes down with the Stooges, which are, if you haven't been following along, the Stooges are baby faces at this time. Linda's baby face, so it's not the mean McMahons. So Linda says there's going to be a 5-man no-holds-barred match for a title shot. So we got another number one contenders match coming up here at Unforgiven, for a match at Unforgiven. Linda also says that Triple H will have a match against Stone Cold Steve Austin if he shows up. So Triple H is obviously pissed about this, and he heads to the ring with his police detail. And my first thought was, oh, I thought you were this big badass tough guy, and now you need to have this police escort with you. And that's how he's been billed, and that's how his character's been for the past month. Is that I don't give a fuck about anybody. I'm the toughest guy there is. Blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, Austin's back, and he's a little bitch. Like they were trying to build him up to be this tough guy, and now immediately he has to be Austin's bitch. Which I'm an Austin guy, obviously, but I can see Triple H's side where it's probably like, man, I'm trying to get over here, and you're getting me do these things now. Like,
yeah, I don't know if they were trying to like pound, I guess, beat a dead horse in the fact that he's a heel, so he's a weasel. But like, yeah. I don't know, they could have still built him as, I don't know why it's like they didn't want to build him as a strong heel.
Right,
they built him as more of like the
Jericho
like Weasley fucking bitch heel.
Right. Which made no sense with what he was before.
No.
And what it'll be after. But as long as I guess as long as Stone Cold's in the storyline, Stone Cold's not going to let him be a badass.
Yep.
Because he has a lot of pull backstage. But now he needs to look like a pussy to me. Because I'm the tough guy. Which, good or bad for Austin, whatever. I don't fully have an opinion on it. Like I said earlier, he's the man at this point.
Yeah, right, he gets whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. So Triple H is going to attack the Stooges that are out there. Triple H tells Linda to leave them alone. Don't do something you're going to regret. And then you have a bunch of guys start creeping towards the ringside area. Undertaker, Big Show, Rock, Mankind. They're all going to be in that 5-man no-holds-barred match. So they're coming out there. And then Kane shows up. He's going to be the 5th guy, and they all battle. So one of them will get a shot at Triple H, maybe. And Triple H escapes with Chyna as they battle on. Then also it's revealed that there's a steel cage hanging above the ring, which will come into play later, and also come into play in some side stuff that we'll talk about. So now, there's supposed to be a championship match between Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin at 42 minutes. And Austin's going to make his entrance. He comes out there, he's ready to go. But Triple H has something else in store for Stone Cold Steve Austin other than a championship match. So let's take a listen to this promo here with Austin and Triple H.
First beast in the ring, shall we say. He's got,
Austin,
Triple H's tights.
Well,
there's nothing I would love more than to walk to that ring and kick your ass one more time.
What's stopping you?
But the problem is, you blew it. You ruined the whole thing. Because if you remember 4 days ago, remember that little incident with a semi and an ambulance?
Yeah.
Well, I believe that's called aggravated assault, Austin.
You tried to run over Triple H, Austin.
Don't blame me. I'm the victim here, people. It's him you want to blame.
Yeah, victim's rights.
He almost got run
So
over.
what I did is I just got done in the back personally signing a warrant for your arrest.
What? Come on!
So boys, do your job. There he is.
Oh, come on. No, don't. What? This is supposed to be for the WWF title, damn it. I think this is supposed to be Austin and Helmsley right here, right now.
I think Triple H called 911 on Austin.
I've never seen so many police officers.
Wait a minute. JR. Austin may take on the cops here.
He's too smart for that.
Oh, he'll resist arrest. I know him. He's a rattlesnake. They always resist. Look at him. Here we go.
And these officers have surrounded Stone Cold Steve Austin.
We better go peacefully.
And look at Helmsley. He's not even getting near the
Don't
rattlesnake.
take any lip. Do your job.
Stone Cold being brought up on aggravated assault charges.
They're going to handcuff him. How many cops does it take to arrest Stone Cold Steve Austin? Look at this.
A whole lot more than there is here if he wanted to be that way.
Count them, JR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's over a dozen in there.
Austin being detained.
Detained?
This is not right, King.
He's fixing to go to the pokey.
King, this is not right.
He's going to get the slammer.
We're supposed to see a WWF title match here, damn it. And look at Helmsley. Well, it shows you where Helmsley's courage lies. And, hey, come on, damn it!
What?
Held to the tip, Austin's handcuffed. What a no-good human being is Helmsley.
Yeah, he's going to get arrested. Well,
Oh, yeah, Austin held to the brave son of a gun when Austin's handcuffed.
look at Helmsley.
I'm making a damn citizen's arrest myself.
He's throwing himself on the mercy of the...
Held to the cheap shot. Look, Austin's handcuffed.
Well, let me tell you, JR, Triple H wanted to defend the title here tonight, but justice must be served.
Oh, come on.
This is our judicial process. This is what makes America great.
Helmsley's had since last Thursday on Smackdown to file those charges. And just conveniently enough, it's right before his title match here with Austin. Boy, that's a real coincidence, isn't it, King?
He's a busy man. He's the WWF champion.
I know what he is.
And now Austin would have, you had to wait till you had the rattlesnake in hand. Austin would have done that, what do you call it, interstate flight, something like that.
Stone Cold Steve Austin being charged with aggravated assault and being arrested here by these police officers. And Austin being carted out of here.
How ironic. Rather than being the WWF champion again, he's being arrested.
Stone Cold is being arrested for aggravated assault. The rattlesnake's going to jail. Well, tonight where Stone Cold is going to attempt to reclaim the WWF title. He's being arrested on aggravated assault charges, King,
Watch your
filed
head,
by
watch your
Triple
head.
H.
I can understand that.
Austin that police car, thanks to Triple H.
Not a lot of room in the back of those things.
Triple H, I'll tell you what, the audacity of him, man.
I wish Austin would lay down and kick the windows out like you see on cops. Look at.
Did Triple H just say something to Linda McMahon?
I think he.
All right, so Triple H heads out with his police escort, and he says he wants to kick Austin's ass, but Austin blew it. Triple H says that what happened on Smackdown is aggravated assault. Triple H says he signed the warrant for Austin's arrest. So he tells the guys, so boys, do your job. There he is. And then you get a bunch of police officers rushing to the ring. So Austin accepts it. Okay, he gets handcuffed. Triple H runs in. He beats on Austin, which I don't think that's legal to do.
No, it's not, because even Jerry Lawler is screaming like he should be arrested.
Right.
He's like, "Oh, Triple H is going to get himself arrested," almost like mocking like how bad of a decision that was from a.
Right. He probably wasn't even thinking anything storyline wise. He's probably this would be a good spot for me to beat him up, but it doesn't make sense with the story. Because you just said he had aggravated assault, and I think you're committing aggravated assault now.
Yeah, the cops technically should have arrested him on the spot. They're going to play the realism card. Play it right.
Right. Exactly. Don't give us this phony cop shit and then not follow the fucking procedures.
We're just, of course we're going to let Triple H beat him up. Like, what?
I hate how these police officers or security guards that they always have no personality.
I know, they're so stale.
Like, in reality, police officers are going to have the most personality of anybody in the situation.
Yep.
They're going to be commanding the situation, not a fucking wrestler. So
yeah.
So that's another little gripe there with realism. But it's wrestling. I know. Why do we treat it like it's real?
I don't know, because there's supposed to be a realism part to it. I don't fucking know. I guess we don't
because
know
it's
what
fun.
Yeah, we don't know what realism to accept and then what to like. I don't know. We're really suck at being gatekeeper on that as wrestling fans.
It's just fun.
There's that.
Pick at the little things that get ignored, and
Yeah, if you ain't bitching, you don't like it.
Right.
It's the way it is with any show you like.
Right.
Any fucking show ever. Breaking Bad, Sopranos. Everyone has something negative to say about it because it's never going to be your way because it's not your show. But you're always going to want to have your opinion on where the show could go. And that's what this is.
Although, with some shows like that, like Breaking Bad, Sopranos, I kind of just go with the flow. It's like, all right, fuck it. I'm in for the ride. Do what you want to do. I'm watching it.
Yeah, except Breaking Bad. I don't think I've...
No, I never complain about anything from Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul or The Sopranos. I'm along for the ride. Do what you want to do on the show. But something like wrestling, though, there's so many different storylines that something's gonna suck.
You're right. Yep.
It's not all cohesive. It's basically 5 to 6 shows within one show every week.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the different storylines. Although I guess you could think of that like with Breaking Bad. Like I hated his sister-in-law, Walter's sister-in-law.
Oh, Skylar.
No, not Skylar.
No.
I hated her wife.
The sister. I hated Skylar and
yeah.
Oh, her fucking sister-in-law was the fucking worst. Gail.
Was it Gail? Well, she was the shoplifting. She was.
Yeah. She was the fucking klepto.
Hank's wife.
Yeah.
I always felt so bad for Hank. Like, you gonna fucking deal with that shit.
She even looks like a bitch.
But that's good heel work, I guess. So they worked those.
Yeah, what the fuck was her name? You don't remember her name?
Fuck, man. Not right now.
It was Schrader, right?
Yeah, Schrader's the last
Schrader.
name. ABC. Betsy? Is it like Betsy or something?
Betsy.
People are like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? I don't watch Breaking Bad.
I just looked it up quick. It's Marie.
Oh, Marie. That's what it is.
Yeah,
all right.
That's a shitty name, too.
Yeah, your name sucks, Marie. All right, anyway, so back to what we're fucking talking about here at hand is Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to get arrested there, and Triple H runs in, like I said, and beats him up. That's what led us onto that tangent. And the police break it up, and Austin is walked off in double cuffs, so they had to handcuff twice because he's so strong. And Austin is put into the squad car, and Triple H is still bitching about it. And then now, that leads to later in the show, towards the end, you can have Triple H, Linda McMahon, and I'm not going to spoil who else. We'll have to take a listen. So take a listen, and we'll be right back.
Now, Linda, I know that you need to take care of family business, because this is personal. But right now, you and I have some business to take care of. And Linda, don't bring any other innocent people into this. Don't make China and I beat up Patterson and Briscoe again. You come out here, you walk in the ring, you stand face to face with me, right now. Linda, get out here.
He's calling out Linda McMahon.
Oh. Helmsley's a first-class jerk. Linda McMahon is a co-owner of this company. She's the president of this company, and she is a lady.
Well, maybe Triple H just wants to talk to her.
Oh, she doesn't come out here. Linda by herself. Well, I think this is a big mistake. Linda's taking a chance coming out here. I know she's taking a stand for her family's business, but we can't be sure anymore of Helmsley's actions.
Well, Linda McMahon's a strong lady. I mean, she's got convictions, and she's not afraid of Triple H. Triple H is not going to do anything to Linda McMahon. He's the WWF champion.
How do we know that?
She's the owner of the company.
How do we know that?
Linda, I'm going to be very nice about this because deep down inside, I really like you.
See there?
Now, what I want you to do is, I want you to tell the world what happened here tonight. Because what happened here is that felon, Steve Austin, went to jail where he belongs. And he forfeited his shot at the WWF title. So now what happens is he goes to the bottom of that long line of contenders. He starts at ground zero, working his way back up to get a shot at me and at this. So I want you to tell the world that he blew his chance. Tell him.
No, I won't do that.
What? Now, Linda, Miss McMahon, you're
I
making
am
a
not
mistake.
asking you now. I am telling you.
See there?
Tell them now.
No. No.
Linda is a...
Linda.
Come on!
I am telling you.
What? That's Shane McMahon's music.
I thought he left.
I thought Shane left for Tess. I guess Shane's back. Oh, wait a minute. What? It's Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is back.
What is he doing here?
That's Vince's wife in the ring, damn it.
Yeah, but wait.
Helmsley put his hands on Linda McMahon. That's Vince's wife.
He is not supposed to be here. Vince is not supposed.
Oh, hell. Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
listen, I gave my word I wouldn't interfere in WWF business, but this is not business. This is personal.
It sure as hell is. That's the man's wife.
Listen up, you son of a bitch.
Whoa! Oh, my God! This is personal.
Who the hell do you think you are? Yeah, you're the WWF champion, all right. Maybe you need a little reminder as to who gave you that break. Who gave you the opportunity, huh?
Uh-oh. McMahon and Helmsley. McMahon and Helmsley.
You gotta be kidding me.
They're going to get it on right here. And Vince will tell Linda to get out of harm's way. There's going to be a fight here. Oh, yeah! It's Austin! Stone Cold!
All right, so as this promo is about to start, Tony Chimmel is announcing this to be a WWF Championship match. And Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross on commentary immediately are like, what? Are you an idiot? Stone Cold's in jail. This isn't a title match. So it's almost like, I don't know. I don't know if he fucked up and just thought, okay, here's the match. And he announced it. Because he's still new. So he may have screwed up and just announced that this is going to be the match. And then
That's possible.
it ends up being a promo. And JR and JR and Lawler know like what's supposed to come up segment-wise. So they're like, hey, what are you, an idiot? This isn't what it is. Well, Triple H ends up coming out. And he calls Linda out right away. Says, don't bring any innocent people out here. Don't make China and I beat up Briscoe and Patterson again. He even tells her, deep down, I really like you. You tell everyone that Stone Cold forfeits his title shot and he starts over at the bottom. That's what he wants. That's what he demands. Tell Stone Cold he starts from the bottom now. He says, I want you to tell the world that he blew his chance. Just tell him. And Linda some pretty shitty acting here, in my opinion.
She was never good.
I mean, the first time she came out, we talked about it. It was like, oh wow, I was surprised by how pretty good she was.
Yeah, but downhill from there.
Yeah, downhill from there. And then this
her
time,
role, the first, was like an announcer, really, just kind of like.
Yeah, that's true. It was kind of like.
Now they're asking her to
don't
like
do
act
this.
in.
Right. Yeah. So now she's dealing with Triple H in like this dramatic situation. Triple H is like, tell him. And Linda's like, no. like all shitty. Like, no, I won't do that. No. Like all mum and shit. So she says no. Triple H grabs her by the arm and spins her around. Her shirt comes off and she covers up her chest real quickly. And it's going to be funny to say this, but surprised that she had those.
But
She wears that suit jacket for a reason. She's trying to be covered up. Vince McMahon probably bought those things. But anyway. So anyway, No Chance in Hell comes on, and JR says, hey, that's Shane McMahon's music. But guess what? It's not. Vinnie Mac is back on TV already. So didn't take long. Vince McMahon's back on TV. And he brings that up right away, though, so that's a good thing. He says, I gave my word. I would not interfere in WWF business. But this is not business. This is personal. So listen up, you son of a bitch. And then the crowd is popping. So Vince is like back to that point where he was a few months ago, where it's like, oh, he's a babyface again. Babyface heel. Babyface heel. So I think it's more of the crowd just missed him for a little bit. Or they're just excited that, oh, he's here when we're here. So this is cool. Even if the storyline doesn't make sense, we're here for him being back. That kind of thing. Just a pop from the crowd. So Vince gets on the mic and says, oh, who the hell do you think you are? Yeah, you're the WWF champion, all right, but maybe we need a reminder of who gave you that break, who gave you that opportunity, which doesn't make sense because you didn't give him that opportunity.
He earned it.
Right. He earned it. He took it. Vince was already gone. Vince was already off TV at that point when Triple H came along and said, this is my time now to step up. So Vince McMahon, it wasn't like Vince McMahon said, oh, here's your title shot. If anything, the storyline had been, Triple H had been saying, JR, Vince McMahon, you kept me out. You kept me from a title shot, and now I'm going to take it. Since Vince McMahon's off TV, basically. And since Vince McMahon's out of WWF affairs, Triple H stepped up and said, all right, now I'm going to grab my shot. And then here you have Vince McMahon contradicting that right away on his first fucking time on the mic. I gave you the shot. No, you didn't. Follow your own damn storyline. So Vince takes his jacket off. He throws it at Triple H, and then Stone Cold's music hits. So Stone Cold runs in, and then we get the match finally. And the match starts at 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 40 seconds. And there's not a whole lot of time left. There's only about 5 minutes left in the show. But it is a WWF Championship match. And it's basically a street fight match because these guys are not in wrestling gear. They're both in their own street gear. Because it wasn't supposed to happen because Austin was arrested. They never make any mention of how Austin is back in the arena. They didn't say that he posted bail or anything or who bailed him out. Maybe that's to come, but they don't say it here. And they're just brawling all over the place. Austin chokes Triple H with the cable, of course, as he always does. Triple H is tossed into the steel steps. Austin's going to suplex Triple H outside of the ring, then tosses him back in. JR is, like, relentless on this commentary. He's so over the top. It's exciting, I get that. But it's like, holy shit, JR, are you having an orgasm because Austin's finally back on TV? He's fucking over the top. And if you don't believe me, guys, go back and listen to the last 5 minutes of this episode.
He's way over the top.
Nuts. It's almost like, shut up.
I hate how he kept saying, it's like the bell. I don't think he knows the bell's rung. Yeah. I don't think he knows the match has started. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. He says it for like a whole minute.
Like, he doesn't let Jerry Lawler say anything. He's just screaming.
No. Fucking shitty co-host.
So Austin gets in there. He nails a Luthez press and an elbow. Austin gets a steel chair. He whacks Triple H in the face with it. Then he attacks his legs. He doesn't even care. So basically, Austin doesn't care about winning the title. It's not about the title. It's about revenge on Triple H for putting him out of commission for a while. And Triple H going after his leg at SummerSlam and costing him the title. And Earl Hebner's the ref here. Earl Hebner's not going to call for a DQ like he usually would right away. So he gives a little leeway, I guess, to Austin because that's his boy that he drinks with every once in a while in the Extra Attitude Era segments. So Earl Hebner is eventually going to rip the chair from Austin, though. He's going to, all right, fine, I got to do something now. So he grabs the chair, tosses it out of the ring. Then once Earl turns around after tossing the chair out of the ring, Austin knocks his ass out.
It's not even that good of a punch either.
No, it's not, but
you might have thought it killed him. Considering how long, we'll get into it, how long he's out for. And
but Earl just drops, and obviously I'm gonna pop for that. I'm like, yeah, fucking about time.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I'm like, probably so pumped for this.
So Triple H crawls out of the ring. He heads up to the ramp. Earl Hebner is finally going to call for the bell at that point, just moments later. And the match will end in a DQ. And Austin is owning Triple H's ass. And which kind of sucks, like I was saying, where you're trying to make Triple H a strong champ, but immediately Austin comes back and Triple H is a little bitch to Austin. So it's almost like setting up where, all right, Austin's going to chase for the belt again. And he's obviously going to get it eventually. That's what you would be thinking. It's not going to happen that way, but you think Austin's going to, chase Triple H for the belt, and it's just going to be a series of events where it's kept away from him by sneaky heel shit. That's what they're getting to at this point. So you already have this DQ. All right, he's got to go after Triple H, and he's always going to look stronger than Triple H, but Triple H is going to hang on to that title. He's got to keep chasing. So that's kind of the scenario they're setting up here. And as that's happening, as this match is ended here, the cage lowers down. The cage was used earlier in a segment with Jericho. But the cage comes down. Austin nails Triple H with a stunner. Earl Hebner all of a sudden gets in the cage, which I did not understand. We call the DQ. The cage is down. Earl Hebner is out of the ring. Austin and Triple H get in so that they can fight because they're fighting. It makes sense. All right, let's get in the fucking ring and fight in this cage. Then Earl Hebner, who's knocked out, he all of a sudden just rolls in the ring. And then he doesn't get up and do anything. He gets back down. He lays back down again. Acts like he's injured.
That's the worst part.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell?
I don't think I would have noticed if you didn't point it out in notes, but because I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's weird. I'm going to pay attention to that.
Yeah,
and then, he's like fine. He's up against Rose getting himself, and then he just fucking passes out.
Right. He's passed out on the outside. He gets in the ring, and then lays down again. They must have realized, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. But I think part of it is ego. He wants to be part of this, and it's also, oh yeah, when this show ends, in 2 minutes, I want to be in the ring when Austin's getting the beer so I can get another beer again. Be in the cage with Austin. That's the first thing I thought. That's how fucking shady this dude is. And this guy got fired because he was selling WWF merchandise, black market style. So that's why he got fired.
Yeah, that's stealing.
Yeah, he's a scumbag. But anyway, the cage is swaying at that point, and that's when the show ends, but we get Extra Attitude. So we see a little bit of what happens after that. Austin does his typical thing with Triple H where he beats on his ass a little bit, gets the beer cans in, which is cool in this case because the beer cans had to go over the top of the cage, and Austin was still catching them like they're pop flies. And Mark Eaton, who's the guy that tosses the beer, I was pretty impressed with it, to be able to chuck those up over there.
Yeah.
To Austin. So Triple H grabs the beers. Triple H pegs off the crowd, and then he gets stunned after he takes a long sip, spits it out, and Austin takes his knee braces off. At this point, he's like, "All right, I'm gonna relax here, take these off." And he gives Triple H a beer, and they cheer. And then you get the stunner again one more time. And then Austin's even going to take a few more beers as he heads up the ramp. So Earl Hebner never did get his beers that time, but I think that's what he was hoping for when he crawled into that ring. And I think Austin may have said something to the effect, "Oh, fuck you. You're not getting any. You just fucked up this spot. You rolled in here for no reason. No beer for you." And that kind of wraps up that. And then we move on now to SmackDown Episode 4 from September 16th, 1999. And this is taped from September 14th of 1999. And this is happening in Las Vegas, Nevada. And we're going to start first off with a promo with Austin heading out to the ring. Will be encountered with Triple H. So let's listen to what these guys have to say.
Triple H, just because I got disqualified this past Monday on Raw, don't mean that you're through with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh no, not by a long shot. When I came to this ring, I came to beat your ass, and that's exactly what I did. The fact that Earl Hebner got his lights punched out is just too bad because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, now he's walking the picket lines with the rest of the referees.
You know, Triple H, at Summerslam, when you took that steel chair and you beat my legs, hell, son, you should have kept on beating because you didn't get the job done. You should have bashed my damn brains in because as long as I am walking, your little ass is in these crosshairs and I will hunt you down like the jackass that you are.
Wait a minute.
Open up a can of whoop ass and serve it to you right in front of the whole damn world.
I think Triple H barked up the wrong tree, King.
So tonight I say this. We can either do things the easy way, or we can do things the hard way. It really don't matter to me, but this is how it will go. You can come out here and you can give me my rematch for the World Wrestling Federation title right here tonight on Smackdown.
No, wait a minute.
That sounds good to me.
He's already had his rematch. He blew it.
Ain't no ordinary match. No holds barred, you little b****.
A no-holds-barred match for the title.
Or, if you want to do things the hard way, which is just fine and dandy with Stone Cold Steve Austin, you will be carted out of this damn building in a body bag, and that's all I got to say about that.
Well, we may have it right here. Has Helmsley accepted the challenge? We learned earlier this week on WWF.com that Triple H will have to defend the WWF title at Unforgiven in a six-pack challenge.
Come on, let's face it. Austin does not deserve a title shot here tonight. He had his chance and he blew it.
And Triple H surrounded by a sea of security, police officers. Just like Monday on Raw, Triple H surrounded in a sea of blue.
Well, Triple H has made a lot of enemies, I gotta admit that.
He's the most wanted man in the WWF right now. And that six-pack challenge at Unforgiven is gonna be a war, and Helmsley's the bullseye.
Austin, it goes like this. You ain't getting Jack.
Uh-oh.
Because as far as I'm concerned, Monday night you blew your opportunity, so now you can kiss my ass.
Whoa. See? Austin's not the game anymore. I don't know if you know that or not. Triple H's
now
the
I've
game.
been ordered to defend the WWF Championship tonight.
Whoa. And listen to this crowd here in Las Vegas.
I don't know how good your hearing is, but you got about 15,000 people calling you an ass.
No respect for the champion. This is embarrassing.
He had no respect for Stone Cold.
Like I give a crap about any of them.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's not going to win him votes.
You can all kiss my ass as far as I'm concerned. Austin, it goes like this. I am going to defend the WWF title tonight.
Wow.
And I'm going to defend it against a main event competitor of my choice. But it ain't going to be you.
Well, then who's it going to be?
But it will be somebody that you've shared that very ring with.
Well, that could be any number of people.
And Austin, that is as close as you will ever get to this again. And that is the name of the game.
Well, before you leave, son, take your little eyeglasses off and listen to what I got to say. You can prance around all you want and talk about your little title matches. I'll be following your little ass all night long.
Uh-oh. Sounds like it's going to be the hard way.
So you better grow some of those little beady eyes in the back of your head, because before the night's over, Austin 316 will be so far up your ass you won't be able to walk again.
You hear
and
that?
that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.
Now we got a Stone Cold Stalker on our hands. Hey, how in the world is Stone Cold Steve Austin going to get to Triple H tonight on Smackdown?
All right, so Austin comes out to the ring. He's got a new shitty hat on. I couldn't make much of what it said, but I think it just said like Stone Cold Steve Austin. But it reminded me of that shitty style from the late 90s, right around this time, probably 1999 is when I saw a hat like this. And it was the kind of hat that had half the writing on, like, hat portion, and then half of it on the brim. It was just, like, slanted on. It was like, it was supposed to be cool, but I always thought it looked like trash. And it reminded me of a NASCAR hat that Stone Cold's wearing here. So I always like to kind of point out some of the merchandise that Stone Cold has, and this is probably one of the shittier hats of that time.
It's the shittiest hat. Look at it.
It's ridiculous.
It's terrible. It is. It's a NASCAR hat. I guess if you're into NASCAR, you probably fucking love it, but
I remember a bunch of college sports had those hats at the time too.
really, like the wave fin hats.
Maybe. I feel like it was shit. What was the company that was it with an E? Started with an E. No, not East Bay. That's not a fucking hat. Anyway, there was a company that was part of their thing. Maybe it was the early New Era, actually.
Maybe.
Before they were, big time with the fitted hats. Anyway, yeah, they had the hat. I specifically remember a Notre Dame hat that had the writing on the brim and in the hat portion. The top. Whatever the fuck. Anyway, so the hat sucks. So Austin comes out. He tells Triple H, just because he lost by DQ doesn't mean he's done with Stone Cold Steve Austin. No, not done. Not by a long shot. I came here to beat your ass, and that's exactly what I did. The fact that Earl Hebner got his lights punched out is just too bad because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's all I got to say about that. Then Austin goes on to tell Triple H he didn't get the job done on Austin's knees at SummerSlam. As long as these legs are walking, your ass is in these crosshairs. He does little crosshairs with his fingers. I'm going to hunt you down like the jackass that you are. I'll open up a can of whoop ass and serve it to you in front of the whole world. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. And the easy way, Austin says, is give me a rematch for the championship in a no-holds-barred match so none of that other bullshit happens again. And the hard way is Triple H leaves in a body bag. So that's pretty extreme. All right, the hard way is I'm going to kill you if you don't give me the title shot. Triple H comes out. He comes out with his police escort. The little bitch that he is at this point.
Bitch boy.
And he says, Austin, it goes like this, which becomes one of his things. I just picked up over and over is that he says, goes like this. Goes like this. You ain't getting jack.
Juvenile.
Yeah, he does that, though, in a lot of his promos. So you ain't getting Jack. And then Austin has a great facial expression as this is happening. He goes from like kind of smirking to being like pissed off out of nowhere. It's like, wow, that's great facial change. Because he's acting. He doesn't really give a shit.
Yeah, no shit. He's like, check's clearing Friday, right?
Right. There's a Monday night, you blew your opportunity so you could kiss my ass. Well, Triple H says he's been ordered to defend the title tonight. Austin goes back with one of his go-to lines. Hey, I don't know how good your hearing is, but I got about 15,000 people calling you an asshole. And we've heard that numerous times, but here he is using it now against Triple H. Usually used for Vince McMahon or Shane McMahon a couple times. And then Triple H has a good comeback. He says, you can all kiss my ass as far as I'm concerned. Which is a good comeback for that. Like, I don't care if you call me an asshole. Go fuck yourself. So Triple H says he will defend against a main event competitor. But it won't be Austin. But it'll be somebody that Austin's been in the ring with before in a main event match. So Triple H is going to try on a new catchphrase.
So bad.
So let me just wrap it up again. He says, it won't be somebody, you can kiss my ass as far as I'm concerned. And that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. All right. So a few months back, a handful of episodes ago, we talked about Big Show, and he was rising up. And when he first made his debut, he tried on some catchphrases. And one of them was, and that's the last word. So they're all just playing off of the bottom line.
At least the game one plays into him.
Right.
But like,
that's true.
The fuck is Big Show trying to do?
That's the last
They said like,
word.
that's the end of the show. Like, I don't fucking know. Like,
right.
Show's over. I don't like anything better than that.
But yeah, that was funny. And I doubt he uses it ever again. Because I bet Stone Cold made fun of him backstage right after that. Hey, kid, you gotta lose that name of the game shit. You sound like a dumbass. So Austin
I believe it.
Yeah, I would assume so. So Austin tells Triple H, take your little eyeglasses off, which I thought was great because Triple H is wearing like John Lennon glasses, like little tiny glasses. Maybe like glasses that Shawn Michaels used to wear back when he was, he just became the heel back in like 92, 93.
His stripper sunglasses?
Yeah. So Triple H has those little fucking tiny glasses off, and Stone Cold's like, yeah, take your little glasses off. Listen to what I gotta say. I'll be following your little ass all night long. You better grow some beady little eyes in the back of your head because before the night's over, Austin 316 will be so far up your ass you won't be able to walk again, and that's the bottom line. And now that brings us back to what we've said numerous times on this show, is that sometimes Austin says things that just don't come off right. Austin 316 will be so far up your ass you won't be able to walk again. My first thought was, is Austin 316 the name of Austin's dick? So far
just tallywhacker.
It won't be.
Just tallywhacker.
Hey, you want Austin 316 up your ass? But anyway, yeah. So some of the things often come off a little weird when you're talking about guys' asses.
Yep, which he does often.
Yes, all the time. So anyway, there's going to be a match announced. It's going to be a six-pack challenge match for Unforgiven. So with all the hoopla of who's going to be the number one contender, they finally decided, fuck it. They're all number one contenders. Kane, Undertaker, Big Show, The Rock, Mankind. They're all going to go up against Triple H. But there will be a match to determine who gets the first shot at Triple H. Who's going to be the first in the six-pack challenge match? All right, so later in the show, Triple H makes it clear that Stone Cold Steve Austin will not be his opponent. Triple H also comes out later and does a promo where Triple H says that he's been given the right to choose his referee. And he's going to request Shane McMahon, who at this point is a babyface. Okay, he's a babyface now at this point because he's supporting his sister, and he's turned on the Mean Street Posse. Basically, he doesn't want them messing with his sister and Test anymore. So it's surprising that Triple H goes with him, but he chooses Shane McMahon. The police detail is blocking the ramp because Stone Cold Steve Austin is stalking Triple H throughout the night. And Triple H mentions that numerous people could be the number one contender. Talks about all the guys that are in the six-pack challenge. And it goes on and on. It could have ended a lot earlier than that. But anyway, he gets to the point and he says the person is somebody special. This person is playing in a game he wants no part of. This is an individual who wants to be a hero. This is a person who's trying to take my glory. This is a person with the balls the size of grapefruits. That kind of gives it away because we know of somebody that has the balls the size of grapefruits because his son always talks about his father having these balls the size of grapefruits. That's none other than Vince McMahon. So Triple H calls him out. Vince, you want to be a hero, Jack. You want to be a star. You want to be somebody. I'm going to give you a chance to be the champion. I want you to be your wife's champion. So he puts it on the line. He says, come on. What are you, a chicken shit? Come on, you got balls. Bring them. So Vince is going to head out. Finally, he's being hesitant. He's sitting with Linda. Linda's basically looking at him like, nah, fuck, don't do it. Vince is like, all right, gotta do it. So Vince gets up. He's going to head to the ringside area. So let's take a listen to the last couple of minutes here of Vince and Triple H.
Let's face it, that's Vince McMahon.
On Monday night, Triple H insulted Vince's wife, Linda.
Uh-oh, here we go. Let's go to the back. Let's just go to the back and discuss this like business people, all right?
No. I am done talking to you. The talking is over. It's go time. You and me right now.
And again, the challenge issue.
Now listen, last Monday was personal, but I gave my word I would not interfere in WWF business. You're talking this WWF Championship match and all of this crap. That's business. I will have nothing to do with that. But I do warn you, don't make this too personal.
Oh.
What's the matter? You haven't got the balls? What happened to the man with the balls the size of grapefruits, Vince? What happened to him? I am calling you out. No!
Well, that was rather emphatic.
Yeah, that's it. You go in the back and you hide behind your skirt. Go ahead. Go hide behind your skirt. But you tell your sexually frustrated wife
Oh, come on.
that if you can't get the job done, Triple H can keep it up all night for her.
Wait a minute! And Vince from behind! This is personal for Vince McMahon! Vince McMahon is hurt. Can't believe it!
All right, so Vince wants to discuss this in the back. Triple H is like, no.
Nope, he wants to air it out.
Right, do it right now, right here. And Vince says, I gave my word that I'll have nothing to do with this business. But if you're going to make this too personal, then I'll have to do something. Triple H is pushing him. Vince screams in his face, no, he's not going to do it. So Triple H tries to push him a little bit more. Go ahead, hide behind your skirt. You tell your sexually frustrated wife, if you want the job done, Triple H can keep her up all night. So at that point, Vince McMahon's like, nah, fuck that shit. And he's going to attack Triple H from behind.
Yeah, totally triggered.
Yep. And then we get a match. We get a WWF Championship match starting at 1 hour 19 minutes. It's going to go for the rest of the show, which will end at about 1 hour and 29 minutes. And it's Triple H versus Mr. McMahon for the title. Vince attacks Triple H, as I said, and Triple H is basically going to hammer away on Vince and kick the shit out of him for the entirety of this match. Shane's the referee, but he can't really do much. Triple H just is beating McMahon's ass, just like Stone Cold beat Vince McMahon's ass in the match that they had. China is actually going to give him a cheap shot, too, which is not needed because Triple H is already kicking his ass. China has to get involved, give a little smack to Vince, too. Vince is going to fight back a little bit, and he hits Triple H with a low blow. That's his only defense, really, is to go for that. Then Triple H is going to beat his ass with the cables outside the ring. We're going to get Triple H to lay Vince McMahon on the announce table and then drop an elbow off the guardrail, crashing through the table.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Pretty cool spot, I thought.
Yep. And that's at 1 hour, 23 minutes. If you want to check that out. Triple H tosses McMahon back into the ring. Chyna's going to give Triple H a chair. Shane's going to block Vince to protect him. Triple H shoves Shane out of the way. Triple H is going to nail Vince in the head with the steel chair. Then Shane tackles Triple H. Chyna gets involved again, hits Shane from behind, and they start to double team Shane. The crowd is chanting for Austin at this point, and we see Vince busted open. Then Shane's going to get nailed with the chair. Linda McMahon makes her way out with the Stooges. The Stooges try to do something, but they get their ass kicked right away. And then as Triple H is about to nail Vince with the pedigree, the glass shatters and Stone Cold's music hits. And here he comes at 1 hour, 27 minutes. He comes out from the crowd because you have the police detail blocking the entrance. So he comes from the crowd, and they go at it in the ring. Austin slumps Triple H into the corner. He nails Chyna with the stunner. And then he nails Triple H with the stunner. Stone Cold's going to take Vince, toss him onto Triple H. He's going to get Shane to come to, wake him up a little bit, push him over. He's going to stand. He's going to basically lay right with Shane as Shane makes the 3 count, almost like grabbing his hand and doing the 3 count like we've seen happen before. And Austin runs off as Vince McMahon becomes the WWF Champion. Mr. McChampion. Whew. Now, what do you think, JV, of Vince McMahon becoming the champion here?
I don't like it. It's very weird booking. Just like how we've kind of followed this up to everything, it just seems kind of random. I don't understand what this does for Triple H. The booking over the past few SmackDown or Raw episodes leading up to this were weird for him. Like, they made him look like a bitch, and now they have him losing to his boss, the title.
Right. When you look at it on paper, it's like, all right, Vince McMahon beat Triple H. But when you take in totality of the story, it's Austin getting revenge on Triple H for injuring him.
But his arch nemesis wins the fucking belt. Like, he's still fucking, like, that's still the guy that put his life through hell.
No, it is. But it's not like Austin is thinking of it as, like, some reward for Vince McMahon. It's almost like, I want it off of Triple H. We'll figure out what happens with it after, but fuck Triple H right now. Vince McMahon, if you have it, that doesn't mean shit because I'll kick your ass and take it. No, that's just kind of what I think about it. It's like it goes along with it, but yeah, they should have kept it on Triple H, definitely. So yeah, it is strange booking for sure. I get both sides of it. But we're in this flip-flop game with the titles, with this world title. And they could just establish Triple H as this big heel. But they have Austin back, and they want to use him, so they want to create this controversy.
Yep. It definitely creates controversy.
So it is a tough spot. You know, definitely looking back at it, or even looking at it at the time, like Vince McMahon's the champion, that's bullshit. And it is. When you see in the record books and you take a look at the list of champions, you see Vince McMahon on there, it's like, what the fuck? So not only in January did he win the Royal Rumble.
It's on his accolades of his wiki page. I looked at that earlier.
Right. He won the Royal Rumble. Now he's the WWF champion in 1999. So, although, you know, for both things, he didn't really accept it. For Royal Rumble, he didn't accept it. Somebody would have to be the number one contender, who would be Stone Cold. And then for this one, he's going to give it up the next week. We'll talk about it. But he's going to give it up right away. But it's almost like he just wanted to have that in the record books. I won a Royal Rumble, and I'm the champion. Doesn't matter how long it was, it's there. It'll always be there. So it's definitely an ego thing. But thank goodness his ego wasn't so large that he held a 4-month.
I know. He doesn't. I had looked, so I kind of know how he loses it already. But I won't spoil it. because he kind of,
we'll get to
I won't say anything.
Yeah. But yeah, that's some crazy shit there. So Austin, like you said, his arch nemesis is going to help him get this championship. Not that it's something that he really wanted, because he went into this match saying, I don't want to do this. He only got involved in the match because Triple H was being a dickhead. It's not like he wanted to win it. But when he's raising the belt with his bloodied face, you can see, like, he's like, yeah, baby, I'm the champion.
Yeah, no shit.
You can see the real
It's the pinnacle of his own company.
Yep, I'm the champion of my company, finally. In such a special year, too, where they blew up and became, like, this great, huge corporation. Yeah, I'm the champion. This is my fucking company. There's that. So, next week we'll be getting into the following weeks leading up to Unforgiven, and then also the week leading after Unforgiven. Austin is going to be a special guest referee at Unforgiven, so not a whole lot of Austin in-ring action. It's more kind of stuff on the side with Austin being involved leading up to Unforgiven and right after Unforgiven. Because we are in this time where Austin is pretty injured, and he's about to take a long break at Survivor Series, and then he'll be out until April, and then briefly be around in April 2000, and then gone until the end of 2000. So we're going to be skipping ahead a good amount in the next month of episodes or so. Okay, so that wraps things up here. JV, anything you want to add?
No.
All right, so we'll be back in just a moment. All right, we're back now with another Attitude Era update covering September 9th through September 16th. And we're going to get right into the world title scene. So, to start off where we were, okay, so just to go back in time a little bit, Triple H is the champion at this point, and Triple H is going to be defending his title against Kane on Smackdown Episode 3 from September 9th, 1999. Okay, obviously we know he wins. It's a decent match between the two of them. Chyna's going to get involved, of course, by hitting Kane with the sledgehammer, and that's going to piss Kane off and get him involved with Triple H going forward a little bit. So Triple H hits the pedigree to get the win. Undertaker and Big Show are going to come to the aid of Kane after the match, and Triple H and Chyna run off. On Raw 329 from September 13th, 1999, we get a 5-man number one contenders match, the title shot at Unforgiven. Okay, based on what we talked about earlier in the Stone Cold segment of the show, we know that nothing really comes about with these number one contender matches because they're ultimately going to have a 6-man match. So we get no real winner here in this match between Undertaker, Big Show, Mankind, Kane, and The Rock. And then that gets followed up by another match on the next show, which is SmackDown Episode 4, September 16th, 1999. And they're still trying to figure out who's going to be the contender. But in this case, they kind of given up on that, and they said there's going to be a 6-pack challenge. And whoever wins this match, which is going to be a 5-man Royal Rumble, the winner will be the first guy to go up against Triple H in the 6-pack challenge at Unforgiven. Now, I don't remember watching this match, and I haven't looked ahead. I don't know if the 6-pack challenge is supposed to be like the Turmoil match, where it's a gauntlet match, and you get one person in, and then I don't know how it's going to go about. The setup here is that whoever wins the Royal Rumble match is going to get the first shot. So what we have here ultimately is that The Undertaker is going to win, and The Undertaker comes out to ringside, and he sits on commentary for a few minutes when his number gets called, and it's one person every minute, so it's not like 2.5 minutes or whatever, like a Royal Rumble. It's every minute. So when The Undertaker comes out, he sits ringside, and not a bunch because there's only 5 guys, but Kane and Mankind get eliminated, and then you have Rock and Big Show fighting in the ring, and they're fighting along the rope. So Undertaker slides in, and he just pushes those guys out. So Big Show's obviously a little dicked off about it. And Mideon and Viscera, who are now aligned with The Undertaker, come out. and get between Big Show and The Undertaker. And The Undertaker earns that number 1 spot in the upcoming Unforgiven match against Triple H in the 6-pack challenge. So that's what we have in the world title scene. In the tag team title scene, going back to September 9th, 1999, you're going to have Edge and Christian against the New Brood, the Hardy Boys. And Edge and Christian are going to win with some unwanted help from Stevie Richards. And the lights go out, and Kane's going to clean house. So Kane shows up and helps out Edge and Christian. And then we have a tag team title match, the Buried Alive match, which we briefly covered on our Austin segment. And that ended up with the Big Show and Undertaker winning the tag team titles. So, like I said, we covered that earlier, so no need to continue on with that. On the IC title scene, you have more of Jeff Jarrett beating up women. He beats up Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young on Smackdown Episode 3 from September 9th, 1999. You even have another situation.
Is this the start of when Moolah gets into like some crazy spots on television?
Well, eventually you're going to get the Mark Henry stuff with Mae Young.
It's obnoxious.
Yeah. So we're at that point. It's coming soon. So what's crazy is Jeff Jarrett's going to nail Moolah with a guitar. And she's fucking 76 years old taking a guitar shot to the head. Then Mae Young, also 76 years old, gets a figure 4. It was pretty funny, in my opinion. And then on Raw 329 from September 13th, Jeff Jarrett is going to go up against Luna Vachon. He tells her before the match starts that women are weak and men are the most dominant species. And Ivory is actually going to run out too, and she nails Luna with the guitar. Double J is going to lose by DQ because of that. Lillian makes the announcement of the DQ. Jeff Jarrett's pissed about that, and then he puts Lillian in a figure 4. And then one of my favorite parts of this past week is on SmackDown Episode 4 from September 16th, 1999. Ivory calls out Cindy Margolis, who was the most downloaded star in 1997, 98, and 99.
I loved her.
That translates to the most jerked off star of 1997, 98, 99. Why else they being downloaded? So Jerry Lawler is all kinds of horned up for Cindy Margolis, as he should be, because go back and watch this. If that's what you're into, you'll be into it. So Ivory wants her to lay on the mat and do a bikini pose. Cindy's like, no, I don't want to do it. Jeff Jarrett then runs in when she does do it and puts her in a figure 4. And she's like trying to wiggle out of it, and she's just popping in all kinds of ways. And I loved it. Oh, anyway, Cindy Margolis gets put in a stretcher, about to be put into an ambulance, and Jeff Jarrett comes back and continues to criticize her and say she's just a woman and blah, blah, blah. So Test comes out. I don't understand why, but he comes out to defend Cindy Margolis. I thought he was supposed to be all about Stephanie McMahon, but Cindy Margolis is here, so let me go try to look like a savior to her just in case it doesn't work out with Stephanie. Maybe I can get some Cindy action. So Double J is going to challenge Test to a title shot after that. On SmackDown Episode 4 from September 16th, 1999, Chyna's going to go up against the Holly Cousins in a handicap match. But it's going to end up being a tag team match because Billy Gunn out of nowhere is going to show up and join Chyna, who they have not been getting along with.
Nope.
Yeah, so Billy Gunn ends up getting the win, does the Fame Master, and Chyna's pissed because she's like, I didn't want you over here in the first place, and now you're taking the pinfall from me. So she's pissed off about that. Then Jeff Jarrett comes running in. He hits Chyna with the frying pan. Deborah and Miss Kitty come out with some prizes, like a little package, and they're apparently being called Jarrett Enterprises at this point. And out of their little gift bag that they have, they pull out an apron, a soup ladle, and they also have the frying pan already. And they place the apron all on Chyna. They put the ladle in her hand, and they put the frying pan in her hand. So Jeff Jarrett then says, now get in the kitchen and cook my supper. And then, like I said, Jarrett's going to defend against Test later, and he's going to retain his IC title by DQ. Let's move on now to Jericho. Jericho is still messing around with the Fink, his little bitch boy, and driving Ken Shamrock crazy. So throughout the night on SmackDown Episode 3 from September 9th, Jericho and the Fink are sneaking around wearing luchador masks to not get caught by Ken Shamrock, which I just thought was pretty funny.
This whole lead up to the payoff here is awesome.
Yeah. So they got those luchador matches. You get to the point where now there's a cage. As I mentioned earlier in the Austin segment, there's a cage there. And Jericho tells him, raise the cage, Harold. Raise the cage, Harold. So Shamrock bends the bars, grabs Jericho out of the cage. The officials run out, and Shamrock tosses them around. And then Jericho runs off, and Shamrock runs after him. Jericho fires Fink and drives off. And then on Raw 329, just a few days later, on September 13th, Jericho's going to have a match against Gotch Gracie. This is going to be in a steel cage also. So Jericho makes his entrance. Welcome to Raw's Jericho, blah, blah, blah. He calls Ken Shamrock Scamrock or Shamrock or Shamrock. Not Shamrock, but like you're a sham. Shamrock.
Yeah, like your faults.
Right, exactly.
You're fake idol. You're fake tough. That's basically, I think, what he's getting at.
Yeah. So Jericho says he'll face off against Gotch Gracie, and it's this huge dude. And it's going to end up being Mr. Hughes from WCW. A little bit of time in WWF in 93. But Mr. Hughes is back here, and this guy is thin and lean, looking like a badass now. So Jericho puts on a clinic in the match, kicks the shit out of Gracie. Gracie's going to submit to the Lion Tamer. So he looks like this big tough guy, which is great. Great heel work by Jericho, looking like a little weasel again. So Jericho on the episode of Smackdown is going to have a promo, and he's going to say that he's the world's most dangerous man. Ken Shamrock told me I'm the world's most dangerous man, and Jericho's going to allow for Curtis Hughes to take his place in a match against Shamrock tonight. And he said the special guest referee is going to be El Dopo. So you get a masked referee, Mr. Hughes versus Ken Shamrock. Chris Jericho's on commentary. Shamrock gets an ankle lock on Hughes early on. The ref El Dopo calls the match after Hughes grabs the rope, but Shamrock doesn't release the hold right away. So Shamrock's pissed off about it. He rips the mask off of El Dopo, and of course it's the Fink, and Shamrock beats his ass. So that's what's going on with Ken Shamrock and Chris Jericho as that continues on. And heading into Unforgiven, like I said earlier, I'm excited to see what happens there. It can't be a letdown. I can't imagine it would be. Then we get into the hardcore title scene, as I lose my voice here.
Ugh, this is ridiculous.
You got the Big Boss Man versus the British Bulldog, who's made his return. And Boss Man comes out and says, and this is coming off of all the dog shit we talked about earlier with Pepper. And he says, who's out there thinks they're a top dog? Any animal lovers out there want to challenge me for the hardcore title? So British Bulldog makes his return. He's got some shitty remix music. Heads out in his blue jeans. So we got Blue Jeans Bulldog, which during this run of WWF, he's going to be wearing blue jeans all the time, which I hate. Like, if you have the body, fucking wear wrestling tights. Don't try to be cool, fucking wear jeans. You're always looking for like an edge. Bulldog needs an edge, so let's put him in fucking blue jeans. No, fucking stupid. Well, anyway, Bulldog wins the hardcore title. And Al Snow's going to run out. He's lost his mind. He was Avatar 1 week. Now he's coming out as Leaf Cassidy from the New Rockers. And Bulldog just walks by. He gives Al Snow, Leaf Cassidy, the hardcore title. And Al Snow is all excited. And then he realizes he's Leaf Cassidy and he's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? So he's like all psycho. And then from there, a week later on SmackDown, September 16th, you're going to have a Pepper on a pole match. Big Boss Man versus Al Snow. So basically, it's a doggy bag of the remains of the Pepper Chinese food. It's hanging on top of the pole. And British Bulldog ends up running down with Rottweilers during the match, which doesn't make sense to me. He's a British Bulldog. Why doesn't he come down with Bulldogs? But he has Rottweilers. So Bossman climbs the pole. Bossman's going to get to the bag. He tosses the bag out of the ring. Then Al Snow grabs it, and Al Snow ends up winning. I always thought when it's a pole match, whoever gets it off the pole wins the match. And it's over.
Me too.
But then they try to clear it up after. It's like, oh, whoever had possession or touched it on the ground first won the match. It's fucking stupid. So that's oh hell no candidate for sure. Stephanie and Tess shit goes on, but we get some strange things happening here. Shane McMahon is going to be supportive of Stephanie at this point. Shane apologizes to Stephanie and Linda, and he's going to try to do the right thing and treat her right, and he wants the Mean Street Posse to back off of Stephanie and Tess from now on. Tess has some matches with the Mean Street Posse, like Joey Abs, and then Shane McMahon is also going to have a match against Joey Abs. And I was watching this match with my wife, and she saw Joey Abs, sweater vest. She's like, he looks like Joey Fatone from NSYNC.
Yep.
I was like, you know what? You're right. I was like, she's like, when is this from? I was like, 1999. It's like, yeah, that's the wheelhouse. That's when NSYNC was probably at their most popular. When their second album came out, the No Strings Attached.
Oh, yeah.
1999. So, who knows if Mean Street Posse was kind of based off of, like, Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. It very well could have been.
It's possible. I mean, they capitalize on pop culture.
Yep.
Shit, so.
You don't think of it at the time because you're living through it and you see so many people dressed like that. But usually they mimic the things that are most popular. So that could be true. And then on the last thing there with the Mean Street Posse is that Jeff Jarrett is going to, like I said, he goes up against Test and he retains the title, but we have a whole little brawl with the Mean Street Posse coming out, and they now have Terry on their side with them, which I just thought was weird. You just picture the three big dudes with Terry, little Terry. It's like, what's going on there? What is she trying to do there?
You know exactly what's going on.
Let your imagination run wild on that one. All right, so that's what's going on with that. Then we move on to the Dudleys. The Dudley boys are here, and they're now in a feud with the Acolytes. They've had some heat with the Acolytes since they attacked Edge and Christian backstage after a match between the Acolytes. And then that is continued on to being a ongoing feud over a couple episodes of SmackDown and Raw. One episode on SmackDown, episode 3 from September 9th. Bubba Ray is going to go up against Bradshaw, which was cool. Just looking back, it's like, oh, two of the biggest bullies in WWF history going at it. Two big assholes. And then you have on Raw 329, September 13th, 1999, a Dudleyville strap match between Devon Dudley and Farouk. So you just get the two teams splitting up and having singles matches over those two episodes. So they're just building up a rivalry here at that point. That's really all that's going on. And then we have the ongoing D'Lo and Mark Henry feud, since Mark Henry turned on D'Lo at SummerSlam to help Jeff Jarrett regain the IC title, and Mark Henry is now the European champion. So what we have on Raw 329 from September 13, 1999 is Val Venus and D'Lo go up against Steve Blackman and Mark Henry in a tag team match. GTV is going to show up here backstage, showing Mark Henry with the Godfather and his hose. And the reason why that's shown is because Mark Henry doesn't show up for this match, and Steve Blackman has to take on D'Lo and Val Venus on his own, and he loses. So he's pissed. And then GTV pops up and shows that Mark Henry was looking at two girls shaking their ass. And JR keeps saying, he's getting a lap dance. He's getting a lap dance. He's fucking not getting a lap dance. He's just watching two girls dance on a table. But that's what happens there. So Blackman's a little dicked off about that. So on SmackDown, episode 4 from September 16th, Mark Henry is going to have a match against Steve Blackman because of that incident. And Val Venus is going to run in and whack Blackman with a kendo stick to the nuts and direct to the head. And Mark Henry makes the cover, gets the win. D'Lo's going to run out and attack Mark Henry. D'Lo hits sky high on Mark Henry, which makes no sense. Mark Henry's like 400 pounds. There's no way that D'Lo just lifted him up and then slammed him down like a powerbomb without help from Mark Henry doing it. So that move just doesn't work. They shouldn't have done that. And
no.
They're going to have a match with each other at Unforgiven. So they're building to that. All right, and that wraps things up for that Attitude Era update. That brings us now to our bottom line wrap-up. So on the house show rundown, there are no house shows involving Stone Cold Steve Austin. So we move beyond that. So let's now get into our Oh Hell Yeah moment of the week. Oh hell yeah! JV, what do you have for an Oh Hell Yeah?
Mine isn't Austin related. So I'm going to give it honorable mention. I guess my Austin related one would have to be him slamming the tractor, semi-truck or whatever, into the ambulance with Triple H in it.
All right.
I thought that was pretty badass. But my real favorite segment was Jericho in the shock cage with Shamrock. Shamrock bending the bars and shit.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny. He had the bat.
Yep.
And I don't know.
That's right. I didn't mention it was a shark cage. I just said cage. But yeah, it was a shark.
It's a shark cage. He's got the bat. And then Shamrock grabs the bat. It's just funny. It's good shit. It's typical Jericho.
Yeah, that's some good stuff there. Mine is Austin related. My Oh Hell Yeah moment is Austin's return. So your honorable mention is basically mine. He returns. He comes out of the ambulance, pegs off Triple H, throws him in, then crushes him. And then even part of that is screwing Triple H out of the title. I like that. Now, the pitfall of that is McMahon became the champion. But the screwing of Triple H worked. But the other half of it kind of sucked too. I can see both sides, like I said earlier. But screwing Triple H was really good because that's what needed to happen. Triple H screwed him out of the title and injured him. So he needed revenge on him. So that would be my Oh Hell Yeah. More so the ambulance segment and the crushing of the ambulance. But I'll go right to my Oh Hell No moment of the week.
Oh hell no!
And I'm going with Pepper. Big Boss Man feeding Al Snow Pepper. And then a Pepper doggy bag on a pole match. That's oh hell no to me. Oh hell no. Fuck that shit.
I gotta agree with you there. But I guess I'll mention another one. Is one of Taker's promos.
Oh.
I think it's from the Raw 329.
329.
Yeah. One of them, he has a short promo, and it's just awful. I'm like, God, this sucks. Yeah, he's trying to use like a bunch of different punchlines.
I must have cut it right out of the notes because it sucked.
No, I don't think it was in the notes, but I had caught it while I was watching it.
Oh, man. Yeah, it definitely was because I did cut a bunch of things out that I was like, yeah, we don't need to talk about that. But, yeah, so that was your oh hell no. A little shitty Undertaker promo. It's very often we have shitty Undertaker promos. But is that the one where he's dressed like almost Biker Taker?
Yes.
Yeah, backstage.
So that's the thing. He's in like that weird spot where he doesn't know what fucking Taker he's supposed to be.
Right. He's dressed like that, but he's still using Deadman voice too. At times.
Yes. Which just makes it even more ridiculous.
Yeah, so just use your normal voice now. Because you'll sound badass if you do that. Alright, so that's our oh hell yeah and oh hell no moments of the week. Next week on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, we're going to be doing episode 57, where we'll be covering the Raw and a SmackDown leading up to Unforgiven, along with Unforgiven and the week that follows. And then beyond that, over the next 2 weeks, that's Christmas and New Year's, baby. And we got special for you. Okay, something we haven't done yet. Okay, we've given you a special edition watch-alongs, but we're doing basically what is essentially a mini-series within the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. It's our first one, and it's going to be the Hollywood Blondes. So we're going to do episode 1, the Hollywood Blondes, the origins. So it's going to be the early formation in 1992 into 93 of stunning Steve Austin and flying Brian Pillman on the road to becoming partners and then becoming Hollywood Blondes. So that'll be the first episode. And then on the following week, we're going to watch a match that we're going to build to on that episode between Brian Pillman, stunning Steve Austin, against Ricky Steamboat and Shane Douglas. So that'll be on New Year's. And for Christmas, will be the episode 1 of the Hollywood Blondes miniseries. And we'll sporadically, over time, do more. There's probably about 4 episodes scheduled for that miniseries that we'll get to over time. And we like to do them when we have these holiday seasons coming up because they fit in perfectly for our schedule to do episodes like that.
Like a glove.
Yeah. So that's what we have coming up over the next 3 weeks leading to the new year. And then after we get through that, we got continue on through the rest of 99, which Austin, like I said, leaves around Survivor Series, or actually leaves at Survivor Series. He won't be back for months, so we're getting through it here and going for a long ride, and that ride's not going to be going much longer. So hope you guys are enjoying it and stick along. But before we get out of here, just want to also plug our podcast pals. You heard about Talking Taker during one of our breaks today, and Talking Taker is a great show, and they are this week covering episode 122, and it's The Undertaker versus Mr. Kennedy again. And it's a last ride match. I hope it's the last ride because it's been 3 weeks in a row that they're talking about Mr. Kennedy versus The Undertaker. This is from Armageddon 2006. Also want to give a shout out to our pals at Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast, with Mike Mills, Chris Harper, and Doc Turner. And they cover episodes of NWA, WCW Saturday Nights from August 13th, 1988. That's what they're covering this week on their Thursday episode. And on Sundays, they do the Smoky Mountain Wrestling recap, and they're doing episode 173 from May 20th, 1995. Those always come out on Sundays, as I said. Also, be sure to check out our friend Jay Free on his pop culture podcast, Free Your Geek, where he covers all things from video games to movies, to TV shows, to music, comic books, all things pop culture. So check out his latest episode on Free Your Geek. And then again, be sure to check out JV and I on the Extreme ECW livecast at the Book in the Territory Patreon feed on the $5 tier. And this past week, what's available now is our 13th episode where we do watch-along style for ECW Hardcore TV, episode 27 from October 12th, 1993. And again, reach out to us on social media. Get us on Twitter at BottomLineCast. You can reach out to us individually on Twitter at MPRU83. Again, that's me, Mike Prue. And JV is at John Van Damage. On iTunes or Apple Podcasts, please consider giving us a 5-star review if you enjoy the show. And also leave some nice comments if you have any. And again, subscribe to our new YouTube page, Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. Without anything else, JV, you got anything else?
No final words today, brother.
All right, so that was an action-packed episode, and we'll be back on track with our regular type of format without so many Attitude Era updates next week on episode 57. Thanks, guys, for listening, and so long.
And that's all I have to say about that.